that's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
Yeah. Whoops. If it's a little bit dark, I was working. I don't mean dark outside your window. I mean like this. Actually, I can do a little bit better than that. Hang on. There you go. That's a bit better, isn't it? But I've been looking at the screens all day grafting. New SUBSTACK. Will it get finished tonight? I don't know, because it's already 2:00 in the morning here. I'll probably do about an hour and a half, 2 hours, see how the grift goes. And then if I get it finished, I'll tell you what, the reason I called this an instant, Packer's here, by the way, I can see him down there, he's just gone for a Jimmy Riddle. The reason I called it an instant stream is because I'm not going to gibber for half hour. Did you see my AI generated list of possible subjects? Fucking great. You know what I really like about AA? You know, Alcoholics Anonymous is the really old men who sit there shitting themselves. Is about AI is you can just use it for really sort of nothing things. You know, people talk about Nvidia, myself as well, being like this anomalous stock that's changed the way we think about corporations and artificial intelligence has already, I agree with that, changed the markets, you know, the labour markets as much as the consumer durables, etc. markets. But being able to just type into it, list a load of popular YouTube comments, optimized to get views. Brrr, done, sweet, copy, paste. I had to take a couple out though. There was cross stitching was in there. Got nothing against it, but my mum was obsessed with it. My missus, I'm looking at the time. This will be instant. There'll be plenty of time for plenty of people. Amazing to see some donations in already. That's wunderbar. We'll go through those in a minute. My missus, it was in the first year when we were together, and she decided we went to this market, and there was these beautiful sort of, if you don't know what cross stitching is, you get like this bit of cloth and it's full of holes, and it tells you what color thread to put through different bits. And they had these they look beautiful. I mean, it's sewing by numbers really, which isn't even as good as it's worse than painting by numbers. But there was these gorgeous Buddhist sort of images and all these mandalas and all this luck. And my missus says, I'm gonna get one. Now, having seen my mum, oh, you know what? She'd done one of a hedgehog. She was obsessed with hedgehogs, my mum. A hedgehog on a motorbike. And on the back, she said, when I die, my son will have this above his bed. I just threw it away. I only just remembered that. That's a bit of a trauma. Wait till you read the first line of a novel. Did I tell you I've got the name of my novel? Oh, yeah, I did, and then followed it up with I won't tell you. I won't tell you because I don't want to ruin the surprise. I'm not keeping anything from you. And before we get into the guts, honestly, you're looking at about 2-3 more minutes. Packer will come in, then we'll get guests on, and we'll try and have a quick overflow. People can come on, say their bit. We'll have a little chat with them, and then we'll get another one on. Because if this stream goes for 2 hours, it's 4 a.m. and I want to get this story finished. But here's what's remarkable about it. I wanted to write a conversation, just dialogue, that explained a hell of a lot about a couple. It's hard to explain about, well, the way to explain it is to write it, but you know, they're just talking to each other and they're having a bit of an argument, but fuck me. I mean, I've written some bleak stuff in my time, but it made me start rethinking my relationships I've had, because some of the stuff that were coming out of my fingers, I was like, whoa. But what was more concerning is I didn't delete it and think, nah, that's too much. I was like, pretty much everyone will understand what that is. Pretty much everyone will have experienced someone saying something, or how those arguments build up from nothing to, you know, sort of metaphorically just jabbing a knife into your heart repeatedly, just with a few words. So I'll try and get that finished tonight. Now, here's some other good news. It is a grift. Another one's come in, you beautiful bastards. This is a grift, but on that, really, I should have had Packer here, because he sort of goes like that when I ask him to show you where it is, and it's funny. They now let you reply. They let me reply to donations with a video. So the next person to donate with that, I'll do a video reply. So it won't be great. It'll just be me. It'll look exactly like this. And I'll go, yeah, nice one, man. Every penny counts. Lovely. But when I am a cult novelist and dead, you'll be able to say that you were the first ever video thank you on Buy Me a Coffee. And in my book, literally figuratively, that means fuck all. A good time to do this.
Hello.
You were there yesterday, weren't you?
Where?
No, you weren't.
The
JP
lockpicking one?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I was.
Yes, that's what I just wanted to confirm. So
I had to go just before the end to cook my tea.
And sorry, mate?
I had to go just before the end to cook dinner.
That's right. That's what made me get a bit confused, because I couldn't remember whether at the beginning you said I got to go. I'll tell you what, could you tell how hard work it was for me? I'm not saying that doesn't make it entertaining, but for people who don't know, I've got another channel. It's a lockpicking channel. It is marketing, sort of. You know,
he tries very hard to be polite and nice. And
yeah, that's the problem. I had a guest on who I'd never spoken to before, who was very nice, actually, and she took it quite well.
Yeah, she was got a lot. The old time she was on, her camera was just her hands picking locks, wasn't it? It was great.
I didn't know that was going to happen. Soon as it started, she's there with her advice. I mean, that's what lockpicking channels do. My lockpicking channel's not really like that, weirdly. She's a fantastic lockpicker, though. But I just thought, I can't talk about lockpicking for 2 hours. You know, I love lockpicking. I love it. But there's a difference between doing it. There's a difference between doing it with someone in person and trying to find solutions. But making 2 hours improvised, can you imagine, Packer? Have you ever struggled with an overset serrated pin, and every time you set it,
what were they called? Something mushroom pins, he called them, didn't he?
He did mention mushroom pins, yeah. But there is a serrated pin. They're security pins. Anyway, I want to build a community on that channel like I have this one. I think communities are good. I think this is where we have gone. You know, it wasn't, 2-3 years ago, Packer, people were saying, you know, internet communities are good, but IRL, you know, that's where it's got to be. I think that time's gone. I think society is. I'm not saying
depends where you are in real life, doesn't it? If you're stuck in some shithole in, you know, near Brum or somewhere, then you're probably fucked. But I'm all right here.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not saying in real life communities don't exist. I know they do, but I think, and of course, the arrow of history can change direction and has done frequently from very small little nudges. But I can't help but think society is going in the direction of a digital online civilization. It just seems that's where the money's going, it's where the technology's going, and it's where the brains are going. And you don't have to have money, technology, or brains to look at that and think, yeah, you'd kind of imagine there's a reason for that. So I love in real life, I love meeting people. I've met about 20 scrubs who've come out to Cambodia and made effort to actually come here to meet me. Not the whole holiday, but they might have gone some like Vietnam or Thailand and they've popped over, and that's lovely. And, you know, I love it. But your children, people who are watching this who've got children, by the time they're about 25, 30, I reckon they'll have more online friends than they will real friends. Like that will just be standard. And by a massive metric as well. They'll have like 3 real, like in real life friends and, you know, 1,000, 1,500 online friends. And I'm not judging that. I'm not judging that. I've got nostalgia for a better way of living that we had before. But people who are like 5, 6, 7 now, when they're 30, they'll be going, oh, do you remember the days when you'd sit in front of your computer and there'd be a chat box and there'd be like someone just talking, and they'll be getting nostalgic about this sort of stuff. When their children, they'll be sitting in their bedrooms going, like on one of those no screen things, you know, just shaping people. Yeah, all that luck. But their friend won't be real. I mean, but with that level of technology, what is a real human? When you can ask it anything, when it's got a consistent personality, you know, when it knows things about you, when it can reason, when it can make guesses, when it literally passes the Turing test, that you could put 100 people talking to that thing for a couple of weeks and then say, is that a real person or is that AI? And, you know, 100% of them go, oh, that's a real person. But by that time, they won't say that. They'll say, what kind of fool are you? No one knows the difference between AI and real anymore. that went a long time ago. And it'll only be the old granddads. Oh, I can remember when you talk to someone online and you'd know they were real. And then your kid will say to you, yeah, but they weren't as hot as the ones we're talking to, are they? So I'd take the fake if she looks like that. Drop. Right. So anyway, John Palmer has been an OG scrub for fucking years. He's a main player in the glorious House of Scrubs, much loved figure around here, very funny, he might not like me saying this, but it is not meant as a pejorative, strangely humble as well. And I respect that in people. I think a bit of humiliate being out of good as well.
He never says hello to anybody in the chat, does he?
He does me.
He says hello to everyone in the chat.
Oh yeah, sorry. There you go. Pack up, mate. I've been grafting all day, so anything you say, slow it down, explain it. Do you know what I mean? It's not gonna cut with just sarcasm. You see, I missed it. He doesn't talk to anyone in the chat. Oh, he talks to me. That's the level we're operating on. But I really want to thank all the scrubs that I think made up the majority of the people in the Lockpicking chat. Thank you so much. I mean, it was a free thing. You didn't have to be a member. I've got rid of that membership thing. I haven't. You can still be a member.
All that Lockpicking lot. They're a nice crew. They're a nice bunch.
Yeah, they were good people. I didn't get the sense of anyone getting shitty in that. But trying to behave, not being able to just be me, was really stressing. Afterwards, I was like,
yeah, but you've told them to come here.
Yeah, but this is my manner, isn't it? You know, you come around my house, these are the rules. That's got a connection to a business, you know, a business that happens to be mine. And I don't want to sit there and go, did I tell you about when that whore farted at my mum? You know, it's just not going to go down well, is it? It's not the kind of brand ambassador that you want for I will do more though. And you know, if there's more members, if they do that, I will do more. I've got to justify the time because like today, I woke up at midday. I'm not moaning, but 14 hours work. That's all right. I'd rather complain about work than complain about not having work. But John yesterday, I said, right, people, I'll probably stream tomorrow. And JP, who was in the lockpicking chat, he said, I'll try and do it a bit late. Can you? I'll be grafting. And I thought, because I'm writing this piece about lovers, I thought, you know what? Whether I'm writing or streaming, it's going to be late when I finish. So why don't I carry on writing, do the stream late, and let JP get some of it? And I told him, look, he's over the button moon. Look at him, JP. Big love, danger. I need this stuff. Enough respect, bruv. Much appreciated, John, and thanks for coming into the Lockpicking Legends stream. You know, to have the likes of you and Packer there. Just to know that people could see me, you know, struggling a little bit, made it. I enjoyed myself, and I think people who were watching it did. But you know, when you've been doing this for 9 years, and that's like the first time I've done a live stream on that channel with a guest. I've done other live streams, but you know,
it's like Dangerfield vanilla.
There you go. Did you check it when I went, what where are you regarding politics? And I was sitting there thinking, I think you might have gone by then, because that was quite close to the end. And thankfully she said, don't get involved. Because you imagine if she'd have went, you know, traditional kind of progressive, I'd have been like, right. But she didn't. She's good stuff. I mean, I've spoken to her via email a few times, so I knew she was good stuff. But I'll tell you what, she's a cracking lockpicker. She can open locks. Thank you, John, for that answer. You can open locks that I can't. I've been at this like 30, 40 years. She's been doing it 2 years. And when she's
saying there's certain locks she can sit there wangling at for an hour and then act off and throw them to someone else.
Well, yeah, that happens all the time. You can nick you can buy like a €2.99 Euro cylinder from Wix just to demonstrate something to beginners, and it can be one of the most secure locks you've ever seen. Just by a sort of a twist of manufacturing fate. You know, there might be the bitting, which is like in lockpicking. Bitting is the word used to describe the different lengths of pins that give you a sort of security. Like if you have a high, low, high, low, high, low cut, that's quite heavy bitting, especially for a beginner, because as you're picking one pin, the other one falls down. And then when you go back to that one falls down. And then you get other locks where the key is virtually flat and you can pick it, like she was saying, with a bobby pin. So anyway, I've done all my lockpicking streaming last night. LC350 also drops an air and said, look, he's even thanking the JP. It's John's night, isn't it? Look at Pack looking over the top of the rainbow. I'm trying
to do something on my computer because it's annoying. There we go.
Nice one, LC350. Marciano Caprascia Tutti. Anglo, I had a question for you. Damn. I nearly went to the lifeboat and put it in there to remember it.
Was it meat related?
I'm sorry to say it was, but I really wanted to know the answer. Hang on. Give us a couple of... Oh, my girlfriend says that now. She goes, hang on. Don't think like that, love.
I said to my missus this afternoon, I said, did you see me dressed up as Adamant the other day? She went, no. I said, well, I said I was doing something else. I said, don't you watch it back when I'm like later watching it? No.
Not interested at all.
No, couldn't care less.
Well, in the email I sent you with the link,
she went and doxed me though, didn't he? I heard that. That was it.
Yeah. I said to her, it's nice to see a little cameo of you on the stream the other day. I saw something, but I've got an horrible feeling it was a short, and I'm definitely not gonna be able to find that. And right, I'm going to give it one go. I'm not going to waste time here because I've already wasted 20 minutes. If Emma G's in the chat, she'll be like, Ah, one of those instant. Right, hang on. It was something I just thought, are you joking? Right, I've searched for that. Now I have to put in filters. Amazing to see 63 people here on a Saturday arvo. Is it Saturday? Is it the afternoon?
It's Friday.
No.
But I've been off work. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Have you just gained a day?
Yeah.
Get in.
So when I wake up in the morning, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I won't waste too much time, but it was something. It's not just another, oi, Anglo, you're a butcher. Do you use frozen meat? And then not look for the answer. I saw something and I thought, it really struck me. And I was like, hang on. How do I select a short? Under 4 minutes, I imagine. No. Why can't I? The fuck is happening to my vape? Oh, it's all going wrong here. We'll be all right. We'll pull it out of the bag. I'll get a bit of Slamaloo in a minute. Packer, I'll send you some Slamaloo in the post. And then one night we can both stick one in and see who can hack it the longest. Wouldn't that be funny if we were both just going?
I'll give it a go.
I'll tell you what. All right, we'll sort that out. But that burnt my gums for about 3 weeks last time. So maybe don't give it a go. How do I just select it to be a short? Oh, hang on. You go to shorts.
You've got another super chat.
I've got what? Oh, yeah. Nice one. Right, hang on. Right, butchers. It was a short and it said something really interesting. Right. It was something like, no. Oh, hang on. There's some more. Sorry, people, but it seemed worth it at the time. Yeah. It was just something I couldn't believe. Oh, I can't watch that though. I don't know how you do it, Anglo. I think, that not because I wouldn't, but if I eat meat, I'm glad that someone chops them up and all that. But it was something that just blew my mind. Anglo, do you know loads of butchers' knots? I found that out as well. Apparently, there's loads of knots that butchers use. No, can't find it. I'll have to have a look through it another day. Anyway, right, Anglo, he says this, late, he's working out, doing yoga, changing his rate, writing his novel or Substack, cooking a ribeye on the job. You know what? I'll tell you what, in the last 24 hours, I've worked out, I didn't do yoga, I have changed my vape 3 times. This one, I have to hit with is that the mortar or the pestle?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to give it a few whacks. It's on its way out. So you've only lost yoga so far. I have done some work on my novel. I'll tell you what, that's lovely. Years ago, like 700 pages, you'd have to send them, you'd have to print them, and you have to fucking write them. And you'd have to use carbon copy, because otherwise, if you sent that and it got lost, I'll just write it again. So you've got to have a copy of it. The old carbon paper packer back in the day.
Yes.
So you'd have to do that, then send it to your editor. Your editor would have to also carbon copy all his comments in case the same thing happened. I'd have to wait for him to send that back. Dropbox, lovely. You can both work on it. You can't work on it at the same time, but when he sends me an email, says finished, I won't be getting back on that till 4 tomorrow. I can then work on it as well. I've got the title. It's lovely. It was woods for the trees, really. I have cooked a ribeye in the last 24 hours and a Substack and a novel. I did bang my missus. Oh, she caught me out yesterday. I had to nip out, see a man about a dog. And she'd only got back from the province about half hour. And she's coming in like her hooded top and her joggers, pair of trainers. And I said, darling, you said you were coming home on the 1st. That's probably why I've lost all my days. And I said, you know, I hadn't had anything to eat. I was shaking through hunger. I'd been working all morning because business is a struggle. I won't keep going on about that. But, and I know she's here for a bit of the other. You know, I know she is because it's been in her 25 years, more than 2 days is not acceptable. Whereas I'll come on, love. We did this last month. But she knows what to do. I was out of this house for about 5 minutes. When I come back in, the bedroom door's shut. I go, darling, nothing. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe she's gone to sleep. You know, she woke up at 5 a.m. in the province to get a taxi back to Phnom Penh. And I go in there. She'd sunk, man. She had sunk. Let's just say she'd sunk. And my body took over. And from someone who 2 minutes before thought he had no energy, you know, when you put both their legs over one shoulder. And that was it. There was no foreplay. It was just lay down, do this. Entrance must be achieved. So apart from the yoga, that's a great shout, Anglo. Nice one on the Ayrton Centre as well. Brad James has dropped an Ayrton in. Ahoy! Ahoy there, Pirate Brad. Can't stay, but have this, and I'll see you later. And I'll make another joke that Billy and I row about in the lifeboat. I'm not a fan of people arguing, but you and him are quite funny. You're quite funny. I reckon you might have him out of the closet soon, Brad. Oh, that's a shame you can't stay. What are you doing? Going out tonight? Going down to Vauxhall? Going out to a nightclub called something like Meat. There you go. You do what you want to do and you enjoy it. Very nice. Can't believe it. Anglo's dropped a lady diver straight away. Is Dangerfield the type of geezer using lockpicking skills on our Mrs. Chastity belts when real men were fighting off crusades? Yes. We were putting them on, mate. There you go. See? Twister-Rooney. There's some memes, believe it or not, Anglo. Thanks for that, lady. There's some memes that go around the lockpicking world, and it's always a red hot woman in like a chastity belt, essentially, like metal knickers. And it's always a crappy little master lock that any lockpicker worth their salt can sort of blow open, which is kind of appropriate. And like the locksmith's opened the front door and she's standing there like this and he's got his bag of tools and lockpickers find that funny because they don't have a lot of sex. Can't imagine it, can you? I'm sure they do. Mr. Funny Names has dropped $11.99 into the pot and he said, I got back from I'm Cambodian again with him last year. Got back from I'm Cambodian again with him the last year. God, Packer, help us out.
Got back from I'm Cambodia again. Yeah, it's not I'm. Got back from Cambodia again with him last year. To Cambodia again with him
came and saw me last year, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that dude. That interview that was all a bit weird. He told us the story. That's him, isn't it? We've spoke. He's been on.
Oh yeah. The fellow we done the interview with. Yeah, I'm just looking at the face. Yeah. I hate it. 20 years ago, it was a dream. Yeah. Well, I was here 20 years ago. The only thing that's changed for me is Sihanoukville. You don't have to apologise to me, mate. It makes no difference, does it? I mean, you know, horses for courses. Nice to see you, Mr. Funny Names. Check out Packer recognising him. I think it's because I'm blind. But when you pointed that out, good call. Not with Chris, by the way. No, he did mean. I haven't got a clue. You on the
I don't know who
sword?
went with them.
And you used a double T on butt. Have you been seeing those women? Have you been seeing those gentlemen? Wait, Packer, instead of lady boys, Mumford said to me once, surely it should be gentlemen girls.
The expensive ones, yeah.
You're causing all sorts of confusion, but that's all right. That's what we do around here. So you've fit right in.
If you open this up, he could probably pop on and tell us what he's on about.
Oh, mate, please, he's more than welcome. It is a chat show. That's probably why he's here. And I like a bit of that. I like a bit of gusto. I like someone who's. I wouldn't be surprised if Plastic African doesn't pop in. He likes a chat, but he's busy as hell at the moment. Glass, did you read the description? Hello, Lee. Hello, Quadrex. Lartus is here. Winstoner Smith. Look at this, LC53. Where could I buy the best bum key? They don't exist. Bump. Just email me. He's not
interested now. You don't want one now.
He wanted a bum key.
Yeah, he wanted a bum key.
Google. Chris at chrisdangerfield.com. I'll sort you one out. I'll just send you one. And they're the best ones. I invented the modern bump key. It's not a lie either. I invented the technique with the dampener, which is now more lockpicking. But email me, LC350. You'll have one by Wednesday. How about that? You've donated plenty over the years. The least I can do is send you a bump key. Spanish chickens on the firm. Lovely. DB! You know, there was a bit of me that thought because this is late, our Antipodeans might be on the firm. Lovely to see DB. Good Lord. How wonderful. JP, there you go. Look, exactly what you said, Packer. Look, dosh. Who else we got in here? Oh, look, he done it. He was laughing after you said it, and then he done it. I'm going this backwards. Spanish Chicken says chastity belts are only for the rich. Those rich birds don't really need them, though, do they? I like trash. No, you'll have to wait for the novel for that one, but I'm so tempted. I think you've all heard the entire novel, but nah, you have to wait for that one. Winstoner says Dangerfield Posey Parker is standing against Jess Phillips in the general election, hoping for a bit of the old blood sports on Question Time. Yeah, my concern would be, I mean, Posey Parker, she knows her stuff, but she's drawn a line in the sand and she ain't going there. Me and her used to be good friends. We used to talk all the time. She said she'd have me on her channel. She'd come on my channel. It was a shame that the pictures didn't go too well. But she won't ask why. You know, she's made a good name for herself, but she never asks why people are doing it because she knows the answer and she doesn't want to go there. And that's her right. You know, that is her right. She's found her place within the resistance machine. Machine is so generous. The resistance in Western Europe at the moment is a bit of a laugh. But I see Jess Phillips is dragging up Sargon again on Twitter.
Yeah, brilliant. Hilarious.
Didn't he interview Liz Truss or one of his...
That's the problem. Yeah. So Rishi Sunak should sack her because she spoke to Sargon.
But it wasn't even Sargon that done the interview, was it? It was one of his people.
I don't know. But she went on his channel, his whatever it's called, Lotus Eaters, isn't it?
So for people who don't know, years ago, Jess Phillips said something and Sargon said, I wouldn't even beep you, right? The R word.
This all dates back to men's rights. That's what it was all over. So 42, I know all about this.
But someone said something really interesting. I mean, it is a nasty joke, without a doubt. I wouldn't even boop you. but it is just a joke. But someone
Do
on
you know
Twitter,
why he made the joke? Do you know what it was about? She sat in a parliamentary committee where they were discussing men's rights.
Oh yeah, that's right. And she said something like,
No, when they were listing off things that affect men, and they got to I think it was bowel cancer, she physically laughed while sat there while they were reading out this list of things.
Wasn't it prostate cancer?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, and she laughed.
Yeah,
but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, but
that never gets to mention.
Someone on Twitter said that years ago it seemed like she sort of had almost like fair use to attack him and sort of call him out, but now it's just personal, and that's the feeling I get.
Yeah, it so is. Yeah.
He gets more views. Sargon and all his various other channels get so much more airtime than she gets. Did you see her when she was like in between the Muslims and the LGBT outside that school?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
we'd all been waiting for that. Sophist is on the firm. Lovely. Saying hello to Ian, so I'm assuming Ian's here. Al Mac, Ellie, lovely. Toffee. Right, I won't do any more names because I said I wouldn't gibber, and that's nearly 40 minutes. I will catch up. It was inevitable, wasn't it? I'll catch up on a couple of super chats and then we'll get on it. Anglo's dropped another tenner. Damn, I wish I could remember that question. Chris, you'll like this. My son has a year left on his AI development degree. Amazing time to be graduating on an AI degree. I mean, the technology changes so quickly. If you started that degree now, by the end of it, it's a waste of time. But to be graduating now, or within a year, perfect. First of our close family to go to uni, speaks fluent Russian too. Relevant, yep. World's is oyster, mate. That's what I always say to students. The world is your clam. But yeah, great. My brother went to Heriot Watt in Edinburgh, and he was studying Russian and German. What do they call it? It's not interpretation. It's something like immediate interpretation. So you have nice one on another donation, Anglo. But one bloke's talking to you in Russian, and while he's talking, you're translating it to someone else. You're not doing it on paper or anything. And the first lecture that he had, he was in Russian and German. Oh, I nearly had it then. It's something like simultaneous interpretation. Russian and German, simultaneous interpretation. And he had to choose electives. So, if you're going to do that, what are you going to do? Culture, cinema, history. And he chose history and politics. So that meant he had to learn how to speak Russian fluently. And he went out to live there for 2 years. And I went out to the Ukraine, and this was 20 years ago, and it was a hole then. But my brother was out right in the heart, like St. Petersburg or Leningrad, whatever it's called now. I can't remember. The first ever lecture he had, he said there was about 10 of them in there, and he was talking to them like, are you on the Russian or the German course? And they were like, no, I'm an economics student. And it was all a bit weird. And then this bloke come in, and he said to them, he said, you lot in this room now, because of your majors and minors and your electives, you're in the top 1% of people in this country likely to be approached to be a spy. And so part of our duty of care is to warn you about that, warn you how to deal with it, what the protocols are, and it was all like contacting MI5, but you can't just ring up 192 and go, you got MI5's number? Because they're on you. Once they've decided to, approach you as a spy, they're listening to your whole family and everything. And when he told me that, I was like, why did I do a liberal arts degree, man? Someone come up to me and said, do you want to be a spy? I'll be like, yeah. Yeah. They warned me about this. I was hoping you'll turn up. Maybe he is. He'd make a good spy, my brother, because he's so ruthless. He doesn't give a shit. He's brutal with people. When Paul Mumford come round and fainted because I top loaded his bifter and he doesn't even smoke weed. He fell over, took the budgie cage with him, smashed his head on my keyboard, broke a lot of the keys and was on the floor having a seizure. My brother just chain smoking, staring at the telly. I was in the kitchen. Without even moving, he went, Chris, your brother's fainted. No, Chris, your mate's fainted. He had all bird seed in his eyes and that as well, where he took the bird table down. He thought the cupboard under the stairs was the cupboard under the stairs was the cupboard to the stairs. Ridiculous. Fair play for that though, Anglo. You must be very proud. I think right now that's a great, very well positioned. You know, make the right decisions, make a few mistakes because that's where you learn. But yeah, amazing. DB up at the crack of dawn. Not that crack. Oh no, that didn't come out right, did it? That's not how it goes. It's been a while. DB Field Marshal says this. Sam Melia. Oh fucking hell! More bad news. You know, I was thinking last night when we look back on this period of history, and it will be weird because it will be strange to, you know, whose censorship, you know, whose eyes will we be looking at it through anyway. That will make a massive change to how we're allowed to consider it. But so if you don't know Sam Melia, I'm sure you do. It's Laura Towler's husband. They've got two recent, very young children between them. They got married, had two kids. And Sam got locked up for 2 years. So he'll do 2 years. Possibly more if they want to add time on for bad behavior. I think in England, if you get 4 years, you do half. But anything under that, I think it's still like this. You do the full stretch. So someone who gets 4 years will do 2. Sam gets 2. He does 2. For putting up stickers. I mean, fuck off, you nutters. But he's been banned from seeing his children, having photos of them or discussing them with Laura. You can make a complaint via the PA website if you feel inclined. I mean, look, I don't know a lot about the ins and outs of the case. Thank you, Dawn, for the donation and bringing that to our attention. I'm basing this on only just hearing that announcement, all right? So this is fresh off the lack of press. But that serves no purpose but to scare people from involving themselves in nationalist activism. That's all I can imagine that's for. What?
Yeah.
Unless it could be one worse than that, unless when he gets out, they consider him a threat to his own children and he's not allowed to see them. They take him into care. Imagine. Because if they're suggesting he's like some kind of neo-Nazi racist, are they gonna let him look after children? I'm not trying to make Laura's evening any worse than it already is. I'm sure she's not watching this anyway. But well,
I expect they've already thought of that.
It's fucking it. You know, that's why I stopped talking about it, because anything worth saying, you can't. They ban you. So, you know, I made a decision to keep the community rather than just get banned, because I mean, even someone like Mark Dice, you watch Mark Dice and at first, when you first watch Mark Dice, you think, fucking hell, how's he getting away with this? But when you actually think of it, he's only telling us stuff he's been telling us for 20 years, and it is entertaining, and it's good to be kept up with the humorous things that are going on with the Democrats. But he's not sort of suggesting any solutions, is he? He's not sort of pointing any fingers. I don't see that. I don't think they see him as a threat to the status quo. And I'm not talking about Francis Rossi. Arklow Rocks drops a tenner. Staying on for another while, lads. It's already 20 to 3 here. It's been probably the most generous ultra grift I've ever had in the first 40 minutes. You know me, Arklow. Maybe. I want to get this story finished, but we'll see how it goes. I'm loving it. I'm already loving it. So yeah, maybe. Why are you thinking of sitting back with a nice single malt there? Look at Paco. His life's fallen apart just while I was answering Arklow. It's all gone wrong. You do that in Thailand. You do that in Thailand. If you go like that, they say they see it as a sign that you're, and obviously that you're mulling over something that you're very concerned about. And,
right.
And you were there going,
oh, it's like that. Okay.
I can't believe it. Packer's just realised he's left his fucking bum fanny in lost property at London Bridge with his name on it. I mean, on it as well. He's written his name on the back fanny. Yeah. Also known as name.
Return to.
That's amazing. All right. You know the old Ushanka that I wear? I've been wearing them for years, right? But I used to wear the cheap, like 15 quid ones until that rich bird bought me that nice one that I used on my streams. Rabbit fur and buck leather or something, I don't know. But I was sick and tired of losing even those cheap ones because I would go to London town, get shit-faced, and every morning wake up, where's my hat? Gone. So when I bought another one, went back to the same shop because he slowly lowered the price as I was buying another one every week sort of thing. I got it, turned it inside out, got a permanent marker. If found, please call this number, I'll collect, right? I'm doing some work for this gangster, a proper gangster, you know, not me, him. And I was only doing deliveries, you know, sports bag, a soap bar and all that lark. And I've gone in the boozer and he's like, what are you having? And you've got to have a drink. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. And if you don't have a pint with him, I'm like, oh man, I've got to take 3 kilos of solid hash over halfway across the country. I'll be asleep halfway through that beer. And so I've taken my hat off. He went, why'd you always wear these stupid things? And there's all these fucking thugs essentially sitting around, like, you know, just muscle, belcher, white shirt open to the belly button, you know the look, like scars all over the place. And he's gone, hang on a minute, what's this? Dangerfield's written his phone number inside his crappy hat. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, don't do this. I was so embarrassed. He went, how much that hat cost you? And I tried to lie. I was like, they're about 60 quid. He just tore it in half. He just went, maybe 650 and just threw it away. Anyway, Anglo has dropped another. Chris, Big Sam won't get early release parole unless he shows contrition. I know by experience. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll do the full 2 and possibly more. Because they're trying to set an example, aren't they? You can't say nice things about certain people, not in your own country. And so, you know what it's like inside. If you do something that's against the rules, they can just go, come on, man, don't do that. Or they can take it to the governor's office and you get an extra 14 days for breaking rules. And then when you do it again or something again, even if it's like so nothing, well, that's the second time you've broken the rules, so we're going to give you an extra month, you know. And it's like that thing Pepsi Watson was on. I can't remember what it's called. Someone in the chat will know. There's people who went to prison for 6 months. 10 years later, they're still there. and it was considered at the Court of Human Rights to be illegal, but people who had already been put on it, they had to stay on it. It's just a joke, man. Hello, Ludwig. Hello, Johnny. I saw someone else I haven't said yesterday. Oh, no. And why would you, Anglo? Horrible old stuff, innit? I mean, it was all right at the time when it was all there was, but as soon as someone said to me, yeah, I'll try this hybrid weed, I went, and after that, soap bar was keep your door open or a weapon. That's right, Johnny. I was the crappiest. I put the petty into petty crime. Trust me. Trust me. Duper guys here. Nice to see you. Mr. Bontoft. Right. There was someone else I wanted to say. Hello, John. Who did I see that I really... Hello, Jared. Hello, Mousecat. Yeah. And the thing is, it works. And look, I'll prove it because things like that affected me when Mark and Laura and all that started getting their bank accounts just taken away. And not just me, plenty of people. You know, I still talk to the likes of Dan, you know that, and Hugh, and there's and other people. I'm not saying it was them that said it, but loads of people back when there was that sort of explosion around when PA set up, and it was like felt like something might be happening. When people started losing bank accounts, people said to me, "Nah, I can't risk that. I got 2 kids and a missus." And that's the trap. You know, that is the trap. Now, you could say, no, you know, we're fighting for our country here. Yeah, but how well's that going, really? And that quote I gave you when I got back from Vietnam, how do you uncouple a nation that's financially sort of engaged in global finance as much as England? How do you uncouple that? If you thought Brexit was complicated, that's like 1,000th of what it would take to uncouple England. England's like, it's like just one big airport, really. And, you know, when you're sitting in Nick or you've lost your bank account and you can't get another one, you can't get a bank account, you can't get a job unless they're paying you in cash. So then you're going to go down the crime route, then you're going to end up in Nick, and then you know, it's distressing and really saddening and discouraging. And I'll have it out. I'll tell you right now, I haven't got the bottle for that. I just haven't. You know, I'm now looking after me and my girlfriend's family. And I'm too old. Maybe if I was 20, I'd be all over it. But, you know, can you really get through on Bitcoin and fucking meme coins? I don't know. In answer to that, though, Arklow, for sure, yes. Right, let's open the doors and get someone in. It likely will be one.
Ian was here. Did you mean him?
What?
Ian was here. Ian's here somewhere, or was?
Oh, I didn't see him. That's weird.
Yeah. I thought maybe you meant him.
I'll put the invite in the chat. It will likely be one at a time because it gets a little bit difficult to, you know, deal with loads of other people. LC350. What? For the specials? I only say it because you love them. I kind of respect you for loving them so much. But send me that email and I'll sort you that out, okay? That what you asked me about before. That sounds well dodgy.
Are you talking about the group, the specials?
No, but I really do like them.
Right.
No, I am. I really am. And once the things that have caused us to not do it yet, once that's all sorted, I'll explain it all to you. But, you know, part of my life has to remain private, and I'll explain all that to you afterwards. But no, I'm definitely going for it. Dawn says they've got us by the short and curlies. I always imagined you as a. I'm not going there. It takes extremely brave people. It does. You know, I look at someone like Mark, who's done this all his life, run a business, had a kid, got a missus, and he's just had nothing but grief, and he's still at it. And what's remarkable, you know, I talk to him occasionally. We just exchange messages. He always seems to be in quite a good mood, and that really says something. Arklow, there's a face you wouldn't want to see anywhere really. How are you?
Oh, I'm grand. It's a Friday evening, and I'm not in work tomorrow, so.
Sorry, I was coughing all over that. Can you repeat it?
Grand. I'm not working tomorrow, and I'm going to enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, I just found that out as well. I thought it was Saturday night, and I've just got another day. It's lovely.
Yeah, all that shit you got done today, you can do it again tomorrow now.
Yeah.
No, I've got to have some time off. For that's the old migrano.
She's still there, is she?
What? Oh,
your missus?
No, she gets what she wants and fucks off home. Thank God. Right. Hello, Colonel Custard. So, Arklow, what's that? Is that a couple of holes?
Oh yeah. I actually played Castle Knock yesterday afternoon. It was lovely. It's a nice course just above the Phoenix Park on the north side of Dublin. Very nice. Very nice.
I can see myself doing it one day. I'm going to show you a short. I'm not ignoring you by not looking at you.
Absolutely.
We watched this on the other show yesterday, but as a golfer, I'd like your professional. I'd like your professional. I want to know about. It's a golfer. She just lines up, you know, and then I want you to tell me.
Is this Paige Spiranak by any chance?
Oh, that's interesting.
Golf thoughts are a thing now, by the way.
I have found out, golf thoughts. It is a golf thought.
That's actually a thing, believe it or not.
All of a sudden, I'm listening.
Because you saw it
apparently
yesterday.
Golf might have got interested.
You saw it yesterday. You must have done, or maybe it was after you left. But
anyway,
no, this is. I think she's Ki Moon Sun.
Well, she's probably a professional golfer.
Well, the bottom line is just pretend you're looking at her swing so we can enjoy it, okay?
Yes, I know who you're referring to, by the way. I know who you're referring to.
You do? Like, I think she's what do you call it? South Korean, maybe?
Yeah, most of the successful female golfers are from South Korea.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Right, here we go, people. It's only a short, but that doesn't mean we can't repeat it 5 times. Check it. I've got to mute it, though, because the music will get me done. Here we go. Take us through what she's doing, Arklow.
Just taking a practice swing. Lovely free-flowing swing. She's looking at her line now.
Practice swing at her?
Yeah. No, she's good posture. A little bit across the line at the top of her backswing, but about 1 million times better than anything I could muster.
So she's actually excellent. She's a.
Well, I wouldn't lose the run of myself, but it's a pretty decent swing. Yeah, it's decent.
Do you wear a little skirt like that when you're out on the? What's it called?
Actually, she's a much shorter backswing with a driver than a lot of lady golfers. She's obviously worked on shortening her swing, so it's
weirdly she's worked on lengthening my swing.
No, shortening her swing. Much harder to do that, by the way.
That one.
Lady golfers are very willowy, so they'll tend to have a very long backswing.
If I search golf thoughts, will I see more?
Holly Sanderson is
hang on, I'm on it. Holly.
This is terrible.
Here we go, people.
And we're looking for Holly Sanderson.
Man, look at her.
No, would I steer you wrong, Chris? Would I steer you wrong?
No, you wouldn't. Hang on. Let's just make it a bit bigger. Steady.
Cool, Mrs.
I might have to. Let's see what the music is. Let's have a go. So, is she a professional golfer or is she a professional?
I'm not 100% sure. She does golf promotion stuff, but I'm not 100% sure if she's a pro. I don't think she's been on the LPGA or anything like that, but I might be wrong. No, I'm not sure actually.
It says here that this is a commercial, so she's maybe selling Cobra gear or something.
I'd say she probably does.
Does her caddy work for the council as well?
I mean, she's a very beautiful lady, isn't she?
Yeah.
Serious question, Arklow. Do you see women that beautiful out on the course?
No.
Just no. But all right. Different question.
No.
Do you look for them?
No.
No,
Well,
you've got your missus in the background, haven't you?
Well, there you go. One must say, discretion's the better part of valor, gentlemen.
Yeah. Good move. Fair enough.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
Where do you get one of these?
To get the #1 golf swing rhythm trainer, go to orangewhipgolf.com. You gotta feel it.
The genetic lottery, eh? What a thing.
Orange whip.
Those whippy shafts actually are good for training tempo, by the way. They actually work.
What, that's that ball on a stick?
Yeah, it actually works, believe it or not.
Oh, hang on a minute. Black Pigeon Pilled says golf is not... Oh, I thought you said it was. Oh, is that a quote from James Bond film? Golf is not yet the national sport of Korea. Blowfield in relation to Oddjob.
Packet, quick trivia question. Can you remember the name of the actor that played Blofeld?
Oh, gosh. I can see him.
No.
Was it Gerd Frobe?
It was a what?
Was it Gerd Frobe? German actor. Gerd Frobe.
Gerd Frobe. It's almost better than Blofeld, isn't it?
Are you talking? Is he? You referring to the bloke that said, "No, I want you to die"?
No, in
Which one do you
Goldfinger.
mean? Hey, Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
Oh, can't remember. Chat. Come on, chat.
I might be wrong there now that I think of it.
Good Lord. Right, I've got to stop looking at sexy women because I don't know what to say.
Donald Pleasance.
Hey.
Was it?
I'll find him.
Oh, hang on, no. Who am I thinking of?
Was it Donald Pleasance with those stark, staring eyes?
Those stark staring eyes.
I can't believe.
7 S's in every sentence.
Of course I can escape with you, chaps. I can see that pin in the corner.
Hang on, what movie are you talking about?
We went on to The Great Escape.
Great Escape, yeah.
Hang on, no, I thought you were talking about Goldfinger.
I might be wrong there. Who was the baddie in Goldfinger League?
That was going to be...
Yeah, you're going to the internet though, Chris. We're trying to
here
remember.
he is. I've got him. I've got the fella. There you go. Gert Frobe. Yeah.
First time.
Yeah, well, there now. Did you even doubt me?
Has he been in anything else?
Does anyone here? Everyone here is about my age, so you must have been in your mid-teens in the 1980s. So
Yeah.
there was a show called the Little Vampire. It was a Canadian-German production, and it was really weird, but I loved it when I was about 12. And Gerd Frobe was the vampire hunter in it in his latter years. So there you go now.
John Palmer reckons that Gert Frobe looks a little bit like his missus, no cap. You walked into that one, JP. Let's have a little closer up of your missus. Why hasn't that got bigger? Oh, this is the thing about this Poxy software.
Why hasn't it got bigger?
Look at the golf.
No, hang on, it's because I don't know how to use it. It's not really the software. I can imagine you having a pretty bird, John, without a doubt. I can see that all day long. There he is. That's him, innit? No, Mr. Bond.
You expect me to talk, Blofeld? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
Hang on a minute. Do your Sean Connery again. That was almost perfect. I'm going to look away, though. Go on.
Do you expect me to talk, Blofeld?
Fucking hell. Oh, Chloe Connery. What the fuck is going on tonight? Oh, Chloe, what are you bringing to the glorious House of Scrubs tonight?
Well, I suppose we don't want to get all hot and bothered about politics and whatnot.
Oh, you can if you want.
I just, without going on in reams of detail, I just very quickly wanted to clarify my abortive tweet to Ed Dutton. Because he eviscerated me. You know, it was nice to be eviscerated by Ed, though, you know, because he's one smart dude. It was my meager free will, Christopher. Yeah. It was my meager.
He's strangely difficult to talk to, though, because I love him. I like him.
Oh, yeah, he's an absolute legend. Like,
but as soon as the conversation goes in a direction that isn't his specialist area, he almost just, the shutters come down.
Yeah, you mentioned it before about bringing up semiotics with him.
There you go.
It's just obviously nothing he's either any interest in at all or no awareness of, perhaps, maybe.
I'd like to talk to him about mental illness, but I think I'd probably have to get Jeff Sharler on, because yeah, that might be an interesting stream, actually. I had someone, I watched something about mental illness, mental health, and I said under it, I said, you know, I just said, there's no such thing as mental illness. This is, the DSM has done more damage to the West than a lot of other things, seemingly more innocuous. And someone underneath said, what? You can get heart problems, liver problems, lung problems. You can't get brain problems. Didn't say brain. It's that really weird sort of I don't know. It just frustrates me when people put words into your mouth. But when it's written, you know, you can at least say, "Oh, sorry, I thought you said this," but it's there. Read it twice, 3 times, 4 times. I don't know.
Well, the only point I was trying to make, and that's why I prefaced my comment by saying that I think we have a very constrained will. It'd be very foolish to.
You went
That's the way it goes, though, Anglo. That's the way it goes.
So let me Anglo, quick question for you. Did you have a slight change of mind when I put that lady golfer on? Arklow. So do you believe in free will?
Well, I mean, again, like in my wanker atheist days, I would have said, well, what do you mean by believe? Is it not accept? So I'm not going to try and do that kind of bollocksology. I think that I hate using this example, but if I was in the throes of a deep depression, you know, if I was feeling particularly mentally unwell, we don't have to talk about whether mental illness exists, but I just felt dreadful. I was in a situation of profound despair and was seriously considering the easiest thing to do here would be just to end it. If I, in the midst of that state, think to myself, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm fighting on. I'm moving forward here. Is it not an active? Am I not by an active will deciding these are my circumstances and they're pushing me in a particular direction, but I refuse to accept it and I'm moving forward here. Is that not?
No,
could that
they
not
did
be
exactly
described as
that.
an act of will?
They pushed you in a certain direction that made you not do it.
Yeah. You see, this is my point, Chris. I don't like thinking about it that way, because if you had someone who was profoundly unwell and they decided to commit suicide, it could never have been any other way. It had to be that way. There was never a chance for them. All it was just a countdown to that circumstance.
My girlfriend, as you know, recently I moved her family out of the province and into Phnom Penh because there was a big family hoo-ha. My missus gets it in the ear all the time because for no reason, that she's just the one who's not married off, hasn't got a job as such. I mean, she's a gym instructor, but she does it when she pleases. And then she come to me and she said, look, the woman who's dying, one of them's got cancer, but she doesn't really know what that means. They put her on chemo. She carried on going out on the piss. And she's like, no, doctor said be okay. And I'm like, you're probably going to die. You know, you've got to stop drinking. And I mean drinking, like day drinking. Wake up, start, have a kip in the afternoon, wake up, carry on. And my missus was like, listen, if you can't do it or you don't want to, I understand. But she's back in the province on her own now. And my mum and the 107-year-old grandmother want to move back out there. And it's not massive money. And I said, listen, I spent most of my life being selfish. It's a pleasure to help. It really is. It's a pleasure to help. So, of course, I can do it. And when we had this conversation, because she doesn't like, you know, you hear all these things. My grandma needs a new buffalo and all that stuff. But she's really scared that I'm going to leave her because she doesn't put, I mean, even when she teaches in the gym, she only walks away with 40 quid for 2 lessons. And so she's not contributing a lot to the pot. But I said to her, if you and your family were born in England, you would have had a very different life. And if I was born out here, I'd have had a very different life. There's not a lot that I've done particularly to make my situation better than yours. You know, you were born into not her, but her grandmother lost 12 siblings in the war. You know, they had a communist revolution that strangely didn't turn out too well. 1/3 of the population died.
Yep.
And, you know, I just think there's so much. The thing about free will is I buy the illusion. I let a healthy bit of narcissism allow me to think that I am a decision-making subject, so to speak. Because if you really go down that path, I think it's quite an unhappy life. You know, you're just a cog in a machine. And even Robert Sapolski, who's released this recent book, Determined, you know, he says that. He says when you finally understand that you're just a what would the word be?
Well, a biochemical set of switches.
Yeah, it's a simple word. You're
an automaton.
No, it's not like that. All these determinants have created you, so you are just a. You know,
you're a product of your.
Yeah, that's it. It was that simple.
Circumstances, yeah.
It was that simple. Once you believe again.
Also, I wasn't doing that.
or shall we say, understand that you're just a product of your circumstances that go right back thousands, if not millions of years. You know, and I understand that that's what we are. It's not that nice. You can't feel good about anything you've achieved because, you know, you might have achieved it, but only because you were at the right place at the right time when that decision was.
Chris, I think it's more important for how we discuss how we value things, and we could say that you are minute by minute the product of the contingent circumstances that brought you into being, and that is true. That's empirically true, but there's a qualitative. I know Ed would be eviscerating me at this point, but there's a qualitative experience to your self-awareness, your consciousness, the story you tell yourself.
Yeah, but where did you get that from?
Yeah, it's obviously we're talking about the property of consciousness is it sits on top of the building blocks of the DNA and the brain matter that you consist of. But consciousness allows you this incredible experience of reflecting on that and thinking about it, and you can direct your thinking. You can think productively. You can condition yourself to think well. You can take.
What is that you? So when you say you can think that, So let's take the example of you, Arklow, my man Arklow rocks. To me, you're a you. Okay, you're a person, but you're a product of your parents, their parents, the country they were born in, decisions other people made, the way the planets move, etc., etc. You know,
a billion other things.
Yeah, and that are continually sort of making movements that, you know. So you know what? I don't need to convince you, but I do think it's weird as someone, as a creative person who's always looking for truth in inverted commas, knowing that I'm having to buy an illusion because I just wouldn't feel, you know, I wouldn't be writing if.
But Chris, even Sapolski's, or I can't. Was it Ed or Sapolsky said?
Robert,
but was it Ed? I can't remember if it was Ed said it or Robert Sapolsky. Like, you're looking at one of those optical illusions where you can have two tail ends on a line, and depending which direction they face, it can make the line itself appear longer. All you need to do is remove the lines at the end, and you'll see the truth. But the illusion itself is no less real to your perceiving brain, just because you might alter the circumstances of what you're seeing. If you're seeing those two lines appear longer or shorter to you, you're having the experience of seeing that. That's not simply an illusion. That's actually happening by your processes observing it and your ability to reflect on it.
You're muted, Chris. You're muted, Chris.
No audio.
You're muted, mate.
Sorry, people. It's been a while, so you know. Let's watch a little bit of Robert Sapolsky, just to hear it from the horse's mouth. That's not the best video to watch, actually. I'll tell you what, he has done so many videos to promote his book. And have you checked it out on YouTube, Arklow?
I've watched a couple of his interviews. The last one I saw was with Sam Harris. They're kindred spirits in this regard. And
I just can't. Sam Harris just talks too slowly for me. I can't.
Look at 15 years ago, liberal lefty me would have been kind of going, "Oh my God, Sam," you know. But sure.
Well, here we go, people. I just want to quickly ask you, Anglo. You might have already answered this, but after watching the golfer, did you perhaps change your mind on that last comment about, you know, you're getting old? Or were you
Chris Black Pigeon Pilled was banging the drum for agency, which I think is another good way of talking about our experience of what we do.
Glass is doing the off. She's been sick all week. See you later, Emma. Take care, love. What a shame. How to join quick in. He's got to be drunk. You can come in after Arklow. Let's thank you, Mr. Funny Names, for that donation. Emma, look after yourself. Wrap up warm. I'll send you a nice email later, as long as you promise to sync. So just blatant. Osmeister drops a lady. Goldington was the Bulgarian king in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Arklow, when you say can you explain a bit more to me about that?
In Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I think Gerd Frobe played the part of the Bulgarian king, that had the child catcher in his employ. Do you don't remember Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Of course I do, but I used to run upstairs when the child catcher came in. Fuck that, man.
Yeah, I know. That was
too much,
horrific.
Man.
Horrific.
How do I join for 5 minutes quick, please? All right, hang on. Right, Arklow, you can stay. We'll get back to Sapolski. Let's get the alcoholic in and laugh at him for a minute. All right, here you go, Mr. Funny Names. I'll put the link in the chat. You'll see it come in the chat right now. There you go. Anglo-Saxon says, how long you been a psychologist or a psychiatric? I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatric. I studied psychoanalysis at master's degree level. My brother has been sectioned for 10 years. He's out now. Med stabilised him. Anglo, I'm not saying people don't suffer. For sure I'm not. And I'm not saying that meds don't stabilise people either. It's just the problem I've got is what we call mental illness. You don't have depression. You are depressed. You don't have anxiety. You're anxious. And throwing tablets down people's mouths, 1 in 4 people in the UK are now taking medication for a mental health problem. 30 years ago, it wasn't anywhere near those numbers. And when you look into the history of the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Psychiatry, when you look at how that thing, the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Psychiatry, you see, I'll put a link in the chat now, Anglo, and have a watch of it. I'm not taking anything away from anyone suffering. I'm actually trying to make it so that these people get better treatment. Hang on. Right. When you get a bit of time, Anglo, it's hard work having Anglo and Arklow at the same time. This time of night it is anyway. Here, Anglo, I've just popped it in the chat now. It's that link. Hello, Alan. Alan's on the phone. Good to see you. Oh, hang on. Let me know how you are with your knees. Nice one,
yeah.
Alan. And if Alan dropped that one in, I'm going to guess.
Oh, yes, there. It's got to be there.
Anglo, that's the quote. That's the street video I'd suggest you watch. I think you'll find it interesting. And you'll also see that I haven't got a problem with people suffering. I haven't got a problem with medication helping them. But I have got a problem with people getting off crimes using the insanity plea. I have got a problem with people giving 5-year-old kids stimulants. Did you put your hand up there?
Yeah, that actually brings me to a point about Mr. Sapolski's position. He's pretty radical views about blame and accountability for wrongdoing. So because of the whole lack of anything like a self or free will or any agency at all. So I don't really agree with that, Christopher, I have to say. No.
Well, I think it's tricky. Mr. Funny Names, the link's in the chat there. But where are you, though, Alan? Have you had the operation, or is it coming up? I thought you said it was April or May, and we're pretty much done with them, aren't we? June the 1st, unless I got it wrong. But whatever, I hope you're well. Mr. Funny Names has chosen maybe you give up and done the off. All right, well, we'll check out a little bit of Sapolski. Just a little bit, but just enough. This bloke's been lecturing at Stanford for like 20 years. He's one of the world's sort of most, you know, if you're going to listen to anyone on this subject, it's him, I'd say. I don't agree with everything he says, but it's a convincing argument. Here we go. Robert Sapolski, free will.
Now, what I'm talking about today has to do with a book of mine that I published a few months ago, whose basic conclusion I reached when I was 14 years old, which is there's no free will whatsoever. A book called Determined, The Science of Life Without Free Will, which I spent the last 5 years writing. And it is almost uniformly rejected as being too extreme or whatever. And so
that's really interesting and important what you just said. He's considered quite the outlier, which is weird because all his other stuff, he's considered the man to talk to. But a lot of people think he's gone too far with this. He is what we would call a no free will extremist. But, you know, we'll have watch a little bit more.
As far as I am way out on the lunatic fringe, even among scientists, brain scientists, instead of saying there's far less free will than we normally think of, my stance is there's no free will whatsoever. So what we see here is, I think, something that summarizes all of...
Look at the one in the top left, the baby in the womb saying, God, please, Norway. It's amazing. But I don't think you can I don't think Anglo says Dave's Waffle House has aged. Amazing. I don't think you can have a partial belief that there's not. I don't think you can say you can have a bit of free will. You go all the way or none of the way, because that just doesn't work. You know, I don't think you can have a little bit of it. Anyway, we'll watch a little bit more.
The argument in that starting right off at the beginning of life, at the moment of birth, in some ways, you are already having your future set in stone. Just as this one example, suppose this kid who is winding up in Mississippi rather than Norway, simply by being born in Mississippi, 11 years shorter life expectancy, 5 times the infant mortality, 41 times the chance of dying.
James from Philadelphia. Once Arklow's done, we'll bring you in, but wait for then.
When this child is eventually pregnant and giving birth, 39 times the chance of being murdered at some point, considerably less literacy. Okay, this is officially horrifying. And what is most horrifying here is that the way in which this child's trajectory is being set is already 9 months old at this point. And the argument I am making is, when you look at all of the influences, all of the things that made us who we are starting at conception, all the way up to 1 second ago, what we are is nothing more than the sum of the biology over which we had no control, and its interactions with environment over which we had no control. Now, to begin to get more of a sense of this, starting at fetal life right there, let's see, is there a way to get rid of this stuff?
I can't keep playing that because he's going to get into mental health, and then I will have 2 very difficult arguments on the go. Arklow, I'm going to let you go because I told Jimmy to wait and he come back in immediately, so he's not understanding how it works. So I'm going to sacrifice you. Thanks for coming in. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy a few holes at the weekend.
I will be good.
Look after yourself,
There,
mate.
guys.
A in the chat for Arklow, people.
Yeah, Arlo.
Oh, there he is, still there. Look.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm on a noisy train.
You are on the noisy train.
What's up, everybody?
How are you? Are you dressed up as someone from Star Trek?
Say that again?
Are you dressed as someone from Star Trek?
We've got a job on the Death Star.
This fucking mailman, I can't even understand.
See you later, James. Fucking hell.
What was that about?
I couldn't hear him. He couldn't hear me. James, if you can hear me, you know you're always welcome on this channel. But when I say always, I mean not when you're on a train and we can't hear you and you can't hear me. But, you know, I stream quite a lot. It would be lovely to talk to you because it's been a while. You're looking good, though.
He looked tired in his white top and matching headphones, didn't he?
It was when you said on the Death Star. Yeah, that was what I was thinking, not Star Trek. What is that? Oh, I don't want that anymore. That's what I want to get rid of. Packer, do you think about things like free will? I get the impression you're the sort of bloke who doesn't give a shit.
No, I have done. I have considered it at certain points, you know, whilst on substances and things. But I'm generally of the view if it can't be proved one way or the other, I will give it some thought, and then that's it. I'll just leave it. I can walk away and leave shit like that. It don't really matter that I don't know one way or the other.
Are you a thinking man, Packer?
Am I fuck? No, of course not.
No, of course not. Amazing. No, of course not. That's all right. That's why you work well here. James from Philadelphia, come on when you can, you know, when you've got a better signal and all that, because with people watching, it's hard to sort of communicate, and people around here would love to hear from you. It's been a while. LC350 back from the shop. Nice and safe. Hello, Baz. Yeah, you're much loved, James, without a doubt. So you're not a thinking man. I want to find out about Alan's legs. I don't want them to fall off. That would be ridiculous, but it is a meme. So did you see anything in the chat from Alan about his legs?
No, just all good. He put, didn't he? That's last I
Carol
saw.
said turn that off. I don't know what she was talking about. Yeah, it was Arklow, always good. Baz is mental for being Dutch. He said he's all good. Yeah, but I want to know what the situation is. I want to know.
Lee James has asked me if I enjoy working with old people.
That's a
My
fair
answer
question
to that
from
is
Lee James.
no. I don't like people. I don't enjoy working with any people. I look after the building.
Would you prefer to go in to an empty old people's home?
Yeah, I would like to go to an empty. That's what I spend most of my time in the garden because no one's out there either.
Packer, I'm going to clip this. I'm going to send it to your place of work. And
They
then
know.
when you walk in one day, it's going to be broadcast on a big screen. You go,
They know
no,
full
I don't
fucking
like
well. Yeah, well, they ask me. They say, "What's the matter with you?" Because they're carers, right? They think differently, and they constantly ask me. They tell me like, "Oh, so and so's TV's not working." And I'll just say, "What room number's that?" And they'll go, "She's been here 10 years." And I'll go, "Yeah, but I'm not looking after her. I'm looking after the building. What room number is it?"
Can I ask you a question? Is there ever any? Have you had to deal with any poo or anything like that?
What, clean a resident up?
No, I know that's not your job, but have you been in a situation? Huh?
Have I got someone else's shit on me? Is that what you're asking?
Well, not necessarily on you, but have you been doing something like maybe, you know, touching up a bit of the window frame, and the old dear's behind you, and she says, "Oh, Packer, it's lovely to see you in here." Because they do let it go, and they tend not to flinch. It's just like one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, they do a lot of that. That's fine. I did once sit in a really wet chair. That wasn't a nice experience.
Hang on a minute, people. We've got a celebration. James said, James, that's why I got rid of you. Come on. And maybe if you get home in time, or another stream when we can hear you, because all we could hear was screaming kids and feedback and all that. And, you know, you're a legend in these parts. So, yeah, do come on. And can we have a J or a 1 or anything in the chat? Because James is a year sober, and most of us saw his descent, and it was quite hard to watch, although very funny. Do you remember when he was on those fucking NO2s? Started off just nipping off screen and doing one, coming back on and talking rubbish. By about 3 weeks later, he was having to do about 5 of them. What were they? Whippets. That's what they call them in America, isn't it? Whippets. Bless him. Well done, James, for sorting it out, though. It ain't easy. I know that. When you one day make that decision where you think, you know what, I've fucked up again, and I've got to go back. I mean, you did go to a facility, if I remember. The amount of times I've walked into them and they went, I thought you said you weren't coming back. And I said, yeah, it's not really a choice, so is it? I said, well, you weren't saying that last time. I'm like, shut up, we'll make me a cup of tea or something. Some super chats have come in. Anglo says, okay, mate, I see that, I'll watch it. Yeah, I mean, so I don't want to say who it is, but, you know, I know people who say, you know, my brother or my cousin's got this mental illness or this mental illness, and, you know, you saying he's lying. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm saying he's been told he's got that mental illness, because psychology isn't a medical practice. Psychology is the study of the psyche, the brain of humanity, as opposed to the soma, which is the body. But even that's complicated, because it was Western metaphysics that separated the psyche from the soma. To suggest that the mind and body, you see how tricky it gets, because to suggest that the brain and body are separate, no. So they invented this thing called the mind, but it's an abstraction. You can't show me your mind. Whereabouts on your mind are you ill? Well, it's sort of there. You know, you can't do it. You can with your brain, and you know, and people do. You know, as a a connoisseur of narcotics, I've made terrible decisions that have hurt me, hurt other people, put me and other people at tremendous risk. But it's not a mental illness. The DSM will tell you it is opioid use disorder. No, it's not a pathology. It's a behavior. And, you know, if you're going to try and make people have a better experience of life, I would expect you to get the diagnosis right in the first instance. Because if you don't, you end up just filling them full of drugs and bringing the shutters down. How are you now, David? Oh, great. Yeah, it's all great. Yeah. You know, that's what the whole movie Clockwork Orange is about. You can cure people. You can treat them, but at what cost? You know, what's a Clockwork Orange? It's useless. Why would you need to wind up an orange? It's useless. And so do we end up in a society where when someone's anxious, oh no, you're not anxious because you've made loads of decisions, cheated on your missus or your husband, gambled all the money away, fucked up your business, and you've got HIV. No, you've got anxiety disorder. No, that's taking all responsibility away from you and your decisions. And, here's some tablets, SSRIs most of the time. The DSM, which is the Bible of psychiatry, was written by Big Pharma. They invented those diseases. The reason mental illnesses have quadrupled in the space of a few decades isn't because more people have got so-called mental illnesses. It's because they've invented more. DSM-1 had about 180 mental illnesses, so-called mental illnesses. DSM-5 has got something like 450 in it. So in about 3 decades, and they voted on them. And there was one vote. This is a true story you'll see it in that video I just sent you. There was one vote where they needed someone to swing it because it was evens. They asked the woman who was making tea to contribute. And she went, I suppose so. And they went, yeah, that's in the book then. Yeah, have a look at that video, Anglo. I think you would find it interesting. But I never want people to think I don't think people suffer. You know, people do suffer. Life's a lot of suffering. But to give a 5-year-old, you know, we all in here talk about, you know, giving kids transgender surgery is an abomination. Well, likewise to me, giving a 5-year-old kid, fucking amphetamines is an abomination. And you know, their brains aren't anywhere, you know, the human brain isn't sort of locked in until it's about 26 years old. And at 5 years old, you're giving it amphetamines. Oh, that'll sort it out. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's going to have a great life. So that's all it is. Without trying to be a hero here, my cause is for a more humane approach to human suffering than simply just drugging people up, when most of the time it's not necessary. They just haven't got you don't make money out of therapy. You make money out of putting people on tablets for the rest of their life. Now, who pays for them? Not the client, the taxpayer, for the rest of their life. So we come back to the old classic: how do we put public money into private pockets? Well, we could start off by making 1 in 4 Brits have a mental illness, and then fucking serotonin them off for the rest of their lives. Yes, sweet. And you know, so from so many angles, it's terrifying. But I wouldn't ever see someone in suffering and say, yeah, I'm not having that. Although when I say not ever, Tourette's disease, I'm not buying that at all. That is someone just making it up. Did right knee, left one in 2 months. Sweet. And is it all right? Oh my gosh. So you've had half, you've had half your legs done? Amazing. Yep. I don't know. Yeah, is it metal? Is it AI? Have you got an AI leg? Wait, Alan, is it a really sexy leg from when you were like 20? The other one's your old man's leg. Or did you say to him, can I have women's legs?
Yeah, he's got one of them Korean golfers' legs.
There you go. Now, hang on a minute, Alan. I know that sounds a bit naughty, but you can wear trousers over them in public. But when you're in the bath, pair of heels, you know, just sitting back. Well, best of luck to you, Alan. I hope it went well, and I hope the other one does. Like I told you, my good friend, who's my NA sponsor, he had both his done. There was a couple of little problems afterwards, but they only had to drain something. And, you know, he rides a push bike around and all sorts, and he could barely walk before he had the treatment. So fair play for getting that sorted. Nice one. And bless you. I hope it all turns out well. James says, hard to talk on the train, Chris. How are you? Oh, no, we've done that one. Sorry, I went back to Anglos. Anglo, another one. Chris, you familiar with Baz's mate? He's getting me a number. Eva Vladin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, have a look.
Yeah, but how am I going to spell that? What? Baz actually knows her. It's not Baz's ex-missus, is it? She was something else, man. Sorry, Baz. All right, do you know about that, Packer?
Oh, it might be.
I had a chat with Baz on Skype or something about something private between us, and his missus was there. And while Baz was talking, I was sort of going, fucking hell. Fucking hell. And then about 5 months later on a live stream, I said, yeah, no, man, glad to hear it's all going well. I said, fuck, I don't know how you pulled that bird, man, but fair play. And he went, yeah, she left me. Yeah, sorry about that. Baz, I'm not trying to rub it in. I mean, it's actually a compliment because, you know, you had that fish on an hook for, I imagine, at least a year. And, oh,
you know,
a very attractive lady. Sorry, Baz, if I brought it all back up. Maybe you've got some photos you can look at. Like, this isn't helping, is it? I'm just going to stop there. Let me have a look at Eva Vlandabra. Eva? Packer, you read the letters, I'll type it.
VL.
Oh, I can type faster than that, for fuck's sake.
VL DINGR BROEK.
I reckon Baz's missus was. That might be her, actually. Yeah, she's nice. She's nice, but I'll be honest with you. I'll show the rest of you, of course. I'll find a nice picture of her. For me, she hasn't got some. There's just something missing. Without a doubt, a 10 out of 10 bird.
Too much class, Chris. Is what's going on there. She's not too much class about her. Not enough makeup. Lips ain't red enough. Lips ain't far enough out.
That looks like real hair she's got on her head. What's the point of that? I will share an image with her. Yeah, you're right. She's a beautiful lady, but I need something a bit more than that. When you get to my age and you've, you know, got the scratches on your bedposts that I've got, you need something a little bit, I don't know, you know, I've had a, you know, pretty ladies are lovely, but filthy street trash are amazing. There you go, people. Come on, people. What between 1 and 10? Let's judge her in the chat. 1 and 10. 1 as not interested. 10 as absolutely lovely. What's that, Packer?
10. Says 10 in that picture.
Yeah, she's a 10, but I'm not sexually attracted to her.
Righto.
I wouldn't say no, but you know, very few would I say no to. Let me find you someone that would probably. I'm gonna show you someone.
Yeah, she's getting 9s and 10s all over the place.
Yeah, and I get that. But
I'm sure you, with your powers of persuasion, Chris, I'm sure you could have her with her hair all permed up and all over the place, and you know, some red.
I'm going to put someone on the screen now who I would rather tap than her, and it will probably. Well, I'll be interested to see. Right now, I know that this is filth. I know it. I'm not pretending, right? But I'll let you know. There was a time when a good half of my bed sheet was like an ice rink due to this lady I'm about to show you. And I would take the lady I'm about to show you over that last bird all day long. And I want the chat to be honest, right? Hang on, let me make an image where they're both next to each other so you compare. I'll number them And then I want to hear in the chat, and I want you to be honest. Don't just play the game. I want some honesty from the scrubs. Not any of this fucking about, you know, the old what you think you should say. But this is so vile. Hang on. File new. Okay. 9 inches. Right, so we'll get her. Hang on. Image resize 50%. Opa! Sorry, this is taking so long. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to do it. But I'm only joking. 100% I would do. I would prefer the one that isn't the blonde lady. It was a very attractive lady. I would take the other one without a whisper. Like, just, move along, blondie. Right, hang on. I'm just putting them into their own little single image. Now let me number them so you know what one you're voting on. Come on, I want some honesty, scrubs, because this could be interesting. Right, where should I put the numbers? Bottom right corner. Bottom right corner. Let me make it nice and big. Right, we'll call her A. Where's that then? Fuck me, is that picture really that big? Hang on, image, resize, 50. Oh, I put it size. Sorry, people, this is ridiculous now. Right.
Jimmy's ready to come back in, I think.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about that. Hang on,
and Bartley is here as well, so he'll be in.
All right, you might have to hold the fort while I have a wee. And by wee, I mean just clean the sperm off the end of my willy from looking at this bird for too long. Should be a capital B, really. Right, listen, I'm happy to confess this all day long, right? Without a question. If it was sexy time, I'm taking Lady A, and you'll see they're both, I've put A and B over the blondie we just saw, all right? And I want you to vote in the chat. Now, don't go with the herd. Be honest, because there's a chance here I'm going to be the only bloke who's got the cojones to admit the truth. But those of you who don't, you know the truth. You feel the guilt later tonight when you're typing into your phone for your last minute. You're not typing in sexy, pretty blondes. We know how it works. I've seen the Pornhub rankings of searches. Right, I'm going to leave you with it to vote while I go and have a piss, all right? So the girl on the left in the pink is Lady A, and the blonde lady we just saw is Lady B. So cast your votes while I'm having a quick wee. Let me close some of these windows I've got here because they're not needed. Well, that one's open. I'm just going to refresh entropy as well. I'll have a look at the old. Don't forget, people. You can. What's it called? You can use that. Buy me a beer, and you'll be the first person to get a video response. Right, here we go. I'm going to have a wee. Cast your votes now.
Here now.
It's not even a question.
B.
I'll tell you now. Oh, I nearly lost my camera. I'll tell you now. I'd have 5 minutes with Lady A as opposed to 5 hours with Lady B. Let's see what the chat's saying. As I thought. Let's see. Right.
You got all to yourself, Chris.
Fair play. I knew JP would understand. See, that's the difference, isn't it? Cheers, Jared. Hello, Mr. MF. Nice to see you, son. Mr. MF, he's gone for A. Look, a bit of honesty. Everyone else giving it the no. I only like the pretty ladies. Come on, man. I fuck thousands of women. I'm so bored with those pretty birds. I need something to make me feel a bit sick in the morning. No, Nigel, she's a very famous porn star. She's been going years. Can't you tell?
I mean, we got to consider, Chris, is maybe that some people in the chat, I mean, some people, not me, obviously.
Hang on, Pac, your microphone went there, mate. Couldn't hear
you.
Yeah, Jared even bothered. Fair play to him.
In the chat, haven't fucked enough really, really hot birds to have got sick of them like you have.
Yeah, I did just get bored with them. No,
well,
good.
Yeah.
No, Mr. MF, you've let me down, son. Oh, I thought you meant to the bird. I've got someone else coming in next. He's already in the digital green room. I would have thought, Chris, she's a good right-wing bird. Hasn't mentioned. No, that's all right, but I'm not really going to be talking politics with Lady A, that's for sure. Nice one on the donation, though, but come on, really?
Lady A does have advantages.
I mean, for me, it's not even the tits. It's just the other one looks like she's about 7 or something. That other one, she's going to grab hold of me by what's left of my hair, throw me on that bed, kick me in the nuts, sit down on it, take what she wants and fuck off, gobbing on me on the way out. That other one's going to go, what, you want me to put it in my mouth? And I'll be like, oh, not really, not anymore. Bye. Well, there you go. I think it's a good segue from that to that. Nice one for that donation, Anglo. And I know there's a couple more super chats I've missed. Well, I've
got a real model on the screen.
Oh, good start, man. That's strong opener. How are you, mate?
I'm doing very well. I would say if there's better pictures of A, that's like a maybe, but I'm kind of like 60-40 in favor of B. I know that A is going to be complete trash. Like you said, B is going to be like, oh, you want to do that? And A is just going to be like A, B, C, give them anything, they'll take it. And they've probably really taken everything under the sun anyway, in every single way possible.
You ain't going to forget a night with Model A. You're going to have forgotten Model B.
It has been the trashier girls that have been the most memorable.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Said it has. Oh, sorry. It has been the trashier girls who've always been the most memorable. The ones who've always been the most tapped. Should I even admit that on stream? Nah,
sorry,
not.
mate. John, it was the other way round. Don't say grotty looking porn star. It's making me fancy her even more. Mr. Bontov says A has been around the block more than a Nissan Sunny. Yeah. Very true, but I've never considered myself a gentleman. Flaneur, I'll take. Gutter snipe, yeah.
Or even a clown's car. You can probably get like a torch there and start doing shadow puppets on the inside.
Before we get into Barclay, we done Jimmy's. Thank you, James. We done Alan's. If anyone's given a super chat or an entropy that I've missed, only really Brad and Bill use entropy, or buy me a beer. If you use that QR code, you'll get the first ever video response I think you've only. Oh, someone might. Nah, they haven't. I have got 8.76% of my goal though on my buy me a beer, which is totally arbitrary numbers I put in because I had to. Anyway, can people put an AT in the chat for Alan, please? Because he's having his second leg knee cut out and a new one put in. And I don't give a shit what anyone says. That's you know, I think he'd appreciate a bit of support. I know it spells at, but he's had one done and he's going for the other. I'm terrified of hospitals. I'd probably just cut my legs off and fuck it. I am and all.
I hate it.
Yeah, oh, terrifying. Could you imagine, Pack, if they said, right, we're going to have to cut your knee at the front, pull it apart, pull your knee out, snap the bones, and then hammer some plastic ones up the holes of the bones. You'll be there going,
yeah, yeah, more or less, yeah.
What drugs are you going to give me for that? Like, and you're going to have to double them up anyway. I've got a bit of a tolerance. Barkley, you little bastard. Come on. What's been happening? All right. Amazing.
You might have noticed it took me 100 minutes to realize. Took me for 100 minutes to realize my mic was mute. Took me for 100 minutes to realize you're streaming. And that's because I've been getting lost in preps and guitars. It's my new favorite instrument. You see my
right, Barkley is your friend and mentor. Hello, Pizzle. Just talk a little bit slower.
Yeah, sorry.
So no, don't apologise. You've done nothing wrong. But I want to hear you, and I
watched too much Ben Shapiro when I was younger. I think that's where I get it from. But yeah, no, I got a bit lost practicing guitar. It's my new favorite instrument. I'm trying to do all the little cage systems, trying to find all the little jazzy chords, and I'm having a good old time with it. I got a nice little Ibanez back there. It's got a whammy bar, a rose bridge, the whole 9 yards.
It's got a whammy bar, amazing.
It's like the best thing ever. And you'll appreciate this, Chris. I got some jazz picks as well. So that takes you back to the days.
I'm not really a fan of jazz guitar. I'm really into bebop, really, and it's mainly wind instruments. You know, you'll have a piano and a set of drums and a bass, obviously, but all the soloists, you know, saxophones and trumpets. The problem, all those jazz guitarists, it's all blah, 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 blah. It's just not John Coltrane. Yeah, but so what are you learning now? Who was playing the drums on that hideous piece of music you sent me the other day?
Which one was that? Was it the one that I possibly made?
Would you like me to play it to everyone?
Was it the one you're playing the drums on, Barkley?
I don't think I sent you the clip of what I made.
It was awful, Barkley. It sounded like someone who's learned to play a little bit of a few instruments.
Oh, okay. Well, that was basically I'd come up with some chords and guitar, and that was just a drum track just to play along to. So I just whipped up. I did it for about 10 minutes.
Out of time, though?
It might be out of time because I clipped it on CapCut. So
no, you just looped it.
Yeah, I just looped like 8 seconds of it.
You can get on the internet for nothing.
Yeah, but it's like I know. I like my drum play. Oh, but yeah, no, it's
you like drum being out of time, do you? You like your rhythm section having no rhythm.
Progressive. It's progressive. It's jazz, actually. So here you go.
I'll tell you what, if you were here, I'd give you a clip round here, you little bastard. What else has been going on?
Got a new girlfriend.
You've always got a new girlfriend. The problem with that means you've also always got an old girlfriend.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do have an old girlfriend.
Barkley, why do you always have girlfriends? Why don't you just sort of hang around with girls and that, and then just... Do you actually say to them, "Are you my girlfriend? Will you go out with me?"
No, it just happens when we eventually say, "Oh, so are we going out?" And it's like, "Yeah, right then."
Oh, so when you said no, you meant yes.
Well, not like well, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Do you want to be my girlfriend? It's just I get to the point where it's like, yeah, we're pretty much dating at this point. She would say, boyfriend and girlfriend, I guess. You make me over-explain that.
This is the advice I'm giving you. At that point, say, oh no. And the better advice is right at the beginning, when you feel like you're getting on with them, say, listen, I'd love to take you out for dinner, or we can go to a gig, or we can go for a picnic or something, but I'm not looking for a girlfriend. Because that then gives you the out that you will need in 99% of the experiences. And then 4 months down the line, when she's calling you every 5 minutes, where are you? Where are you now? Who are you with? What are you doing? You can say, yeah, remember when I said I didn't want a girlfriend? It's because of all this. And now you've done it. I'm changing my number. Bye.
And my
Don't
name.
do it. I mean it. Why do you need a girlfriend? You can have a family?
Probably not anytime soon, but...
Right. Hang on. One at a time. So you're not going to have a family. So you don't need to pair bond yet. All you're doing is giving yourself problems. Just go out and enjoy women for your 20s, man.
She doesn't cause me any problems for the time. And I know you're saying, oh, well, we know you don't start because it's their tactical evolutionary thing to get in your head.
And why do you think I'm going to say that? And why do you think I'm going to say that?
Because you've fucked so many birds.
No, because
you've been there, done that.
Happened to you about 5 times on the bounce.
Yeah, it's true. But this lady, she's very reserved. She doesn't like going out much, and she generally doesn't. I don't feel I have to worry about anything with her. She seems to be actually wanting to do things in favor of me. She's
that's what they do. That's the perfect girlfriend act. And blokes do it as well, but she will do exactly. She's now at this stage in a relationship. She'll do anything you say and become anything that she thinks you want to entrap you, because that's evolution. And then you're like, oh, this is amazing. And traditionally, then you'll get her up the duff and you're lumbered for life. But, we're a little bit brighter than that these days. But, you don't need to make that commitment. All you're doing is losing. There's no game.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy to... Not saying I would break things up about like right now, because she hasn't given me. She literally has not given me a single reason to want to. Other than like being a bit like antisocial, she doesn't want to come out. She doesn't go out and do things with me or anything, which I find a bit sad. But it's something she can build up.
Like she's off her nut. Packer was frowning. She's very antisocial. Doesn't like going out. Oh, you're onto a winner there. The third thing.
No, she's just a bit awkward.
Sticking axes into the back of her ex-boyfriend's heads.
Yeah. You'll wake up one night and you'll be standing over you with a 16-pound sledgehammer screaming, I love you.
I'll be like that scene in what's that Italian mob film that I've only seen once? Goodfellas. It'll be like that. If I had to break things off, I think I could quite calmly. I don't really have it in me to get too emotionally invested at this point. I don't plan on having kids anytime soon. I wouldn't want to unless I was like very, 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 very secure and could afford to move to Italy at a drop of a hat if I needed to or something like that. That's the level of security I want.
Then be bloody careful.
Barclay, I was just pretending to listen, hoping Packer would, because Mr. MF, bless him, and blogs have dropped an entropy. But did I hear you suddenly? Did I hear you just say, I've got enough money to move to Italy if I need to? No.
I said I wouldn't have kids until I had enough money to to move to Italy at the drop of a hat if I needed to. That's what I was saying. So that's how financially stable I want to be.
It's an amazing specific escape route, isn't it?
It's what I think about a lot.
I had enough money to get to Milan.
No, Milan's a shithole. I'm talking Naples, which Italians think is a shithole, but I think it's really nice there.
Seriously, hang on, look, how drunk are you, Mr. Funny Names? I put the link in the chat and I said, come on, and you disappeared for like hours. I'll put the link in the chat You can come on after Barclay, Mr. Funny Names. Give me an excuse to get shot of him in quick time. Now, Barclay, take two people from the glorious House of Scrubs. On the one hand, you got me, and on the other hand, you've got that weird alcoholic wannabe French man, Latus, who writes kids' stories. Now, you've heard my advice. This is what Latus says. So, I would just, if I were you, I would consider your options, consider the people giving you the advice.
Look, Chris, you have had a rock star life that I do find that sort of life appealing, but unfortunately, at least where I live, it's not really that possible to find that sort of entertainment
everywhere. Mr. MF says, have you thought about having me on for a mini gun show, Chris? Yeah, we talked about it before, and I said I'd look into the YouTube rules around guns. And I did. I'll be honest with you, I didn't do that, but I will. Be careful. Yeah, they don't like it. A few people lost their channels. One bloke had a channel about gun safety, and YouTube yeeted him. They were like, "No, we don't promote guns." And it's like, oh, fucking hell. Nice one for that, Mr. MF. Email me, chris@chrisdangerfield.com, and it will just remind me to look into that, because I'd love to. I love shooters. And blogs of the Niggler, thoughts and actions are not entirely predictable or predetermined due to quantum indeterminacy, consciousness, and the brain's complex neural interactions, which introduce elements of unpredictability. There is a possibility Brad can be improved. Who's
Brad?
Hang on, I've got to mute myself.
While he's having a coffee
Brad,
fit
I hope you
and
got a good comeback for that.
Paying the piper for the years of smoking the hard food. I was going to say that I've been getting harassed by Antifa at my gym again. Second time it's happened.
Antifa?
Yeah, some Antifa members that I 100% I know exactly who they are. I recognise them. They know me. We've been having a bit of a social battle at the gym, and by social battle I mean I kept staring them down until they'd look away, and just like I was just sitting there on a leg press machine, like while they were doing really bad form exercise, I was sitting there leg press going, I'm doing 200 kilograms. So that's not even heavy for me. I was just doing it for the effect. Like trying to re-rack the weights as loud as I could while staring at them. Yeah, I'm having a bit of fun time.
Are they proper twigs in there, sort of doing like lateral raises with 2 kilos women's?
Let me forward something to you, Chris. Give me like 1 second. You can you're going to see the best form you've ever seen on an exercise. I just need to find the video. I think you'll be able to play this on stream if you just screen share our messages.
Playback Parrot, I've got Mr. Funny Names coming in next, so I'm going to kick you. But after Barclay and after Mr. Funny Names, you're wrapped up next, okay? There's no point having you sitting down there in that digital green room doing nothing for a while, but we've got you all in order now. What have you sent me, and where have you sent it to me?
I forwarded you a clip on Telegram of so I was just looking at the messages I sent before, trying to get those in there, but it's quite funny. I'll just quickly delete those.
Finest and fittest.
Anglo, we already had this. If he really believed in them, he'd always wear them, and he hasn't worn them for about the last 20 times he's come on.
He's last night, actually, they're in my loft. That's where I slept.
Yeah, he doesn't. He knows they're bullshit.
I wear them outside. Now. I got like John Lennon swagger.
No, you haven't.
No, I do.
A white suit with a white trilby.
No, it's like black and red Fred Perry shirt and some smart shoes, usually.
Oh.
Don't wear those fucking
disappointed.
Man. Barclay, what's that you're smoking? Is that a Lambert and Butler?
No, it's Riverstone, easy rolling, the cheapest stuff you can get at Premier.
Back on the snout. Do you enjoy a snout though? Packer enjoys a snout. Do you ever use licorice?
No.
I think Lartus uses licorice, doesn't he?
I wouldn't trust someone who uses licorice papers. Just something a bit off about that.
Oh.
Well, you can imagine, like, that's probably what, like, Jimmy Savile probably used. Like, you just get that impression from licorice papers.
Packer uses them. He's rolling one now, literally. I'll show you.
I'm like channeling the LSD to make his glasses go red, and I can see it. Now his eyes are going all funny, like Jimmy Savile would
go. Also, Anglo, I gave Barclay about £8,000 worth of suits, shirts, and £2,500 worth of shoes. So in theory, he owes me about £7,500. But
well,
I'm gonna...
not really though, is it? You'd be lucky to even get those in a charity shop.
Fuck. I tell you what, Barclay, serious. If you want a few quid, you should take them to a tailor, because they have auctions for people who spent money on suits, fell on hard times, and rather than being the generous man that I was and gave them to you and.
No, I'm going to keep those. I've never worn the red and black one. It just doesn't suit me. But I do wear like
that chalk stripe suit is fucking. Oh, it's banging, man.
I need to get like touched up because the collars are really fucked on them. Like they just look so weird. I don't think they look how they're supposed to. Like we're all like bent out of shape.
Lapel. The word is lapel.
Lapels. Yeah, they get so.
Yeah, it probably needs pressing. In fairness, it was stuck in an airtight bag for about 3 years.
As well, the button. I did one. 2 of the buttons came off the tweed one, so I had to take like the pocket buttons, get those put on the front. I got 2 new ones for it, but I've made it work.
Nice, good work. That is my favourite suit ever. That I do think you should have the balls. I think you should have the balls to do the full 3-piece. So I do wear those red boots as well. Jambo's a new member, but we know he's not. Nice one, Jambo, and thank you for that, Anglo. But yeah, he grew out of those glasses once he got into getting unnecessary pair bonding. David John, advise, why would you write a book over a script? What, like a novel over a screenplay? David, you'll have to... Is that what you mean? A novel over a screenplay? Confirm that in the normal chat. I'm not asking for another super chat, although I'm not asking you not to. But confirm that's what you're asking, and I'll tell you. Because I do have an answer for that.
It's got the little anime penguin thing as his profile picture on an anime kid show. I don't know what it is, but I recognise it. You love anime, don't you, Chris?
What's that? I weren't listening.
As usual. I said you love anime, don't you, Chris?
To be honest with you, I don't know what it is.
It's just the Japanese form of cartoons. It's not pornographic like some people say. That's just a meme.
Wouldn't you find it a little bit weird for a 52-year-old bloke to like cartoons?
It's the framing. Anime takes itself sometimes it takes itself more serious, and there is like actually quite a lot of graphical, well-told stories.
Obviously, I'm not watching anime. Come on.
I know there's a lot of good stuff in there. There's a lot of gems.
All right, go on. Tell me some good anime, and we'll watch a bit.
Berserk 1997. Cowboy Bebop is what I've been watching.
Hang on, just give me one. You're confusing the issue.
Berserk, easily the best one.
Yeah, but it's a hard one to. It's a hard one to. John Palmer says roll ups. He's
only because he's misplaced his pipe.
my pipe's sitting outside. Actually, I've ran out of tobacco for it. So, is that the answer you're expecting? Because it's the real one. I've got a cherry red pipe as well to go to cherry red shoes, Chris. So I hope you appreciate that.
Say it again. I weren't listening.
So I got a cherry red pipe to go to cherry red shoes. There you go. Are you listening now? You listen now?
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice touch, but that starts making the suit look a little bit like a costume, and it ain't, you know.
I get you.
So there's a bit of that there.
We'll see.
Sorry.
Let me know what you think of. I'll send you this. That's the theme song, Cowboy Bebop. That's more of a silly one. That's more of a fun one. Berserk takes itself quite seriously. I'll try to find you.
But hang on, I thought these were like videos. JP just says he's reading Berserk.
Yeah, there's manga. Manga is a sort of comic form. So you get a lot of them that will go from they'll originally start off as a comic and then it will be adapted into an anime, but it's usually the mangas are better. The Berserk manga is like one of the most like beautifully detailed ones you'll ever read. Sadly, the guy died of a heart attack at 54, but it's sort of all his like assistants are continuing it on. Luckily,
Berserk anime.
Make sure it's the 1997 one. You'll be able to tell by the visual quality.
Well, I've got it. Yeah, it says 1997. Okay, and this is for adults, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's probably more for like teenagers, but I know the person who introduced it to me was a 35-year-old plasterer from Sheffield.
Yeah, plasterer, paedophile, much the same thing in that context. Right, let's have a look at this then and see what the kids are reckoning ruining civilization with. Here we go, people. This is Barclays suggested. He could have said anything, and he went for Berserk 1997. It's episode 1, English dub. English dub, what's that like?
That's when it's got English voice.
Yeah, I know what that is. I know what an English subtitle is, you fucking twit. Right, here we go. Let's see if I can be swayed. I might get. I probably won't get heated. No.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
If I'm not, I'll be in 3 minutes, people. Right, here we go. Let's see what's being pushed on the elders. Some of the weirdest English subs I've ever seen. What is it, Japanese or Korean or what?
It's Japanese. Most anime is Japanese.
How much time do you spend consuming this content, actually, on an average week? Hang on, you're recommending something that you watch 2 a year of?
Because I just watched the good ones. Yeah, good anime is Evangelion, Berserk.
So
Cowboy Bebop's pretty good.
All right, fair enough. Let's watch a little bit more of this. I'm not interested in the slightest, but I hope you like it and enjoy it. No, I'm with you, Anglo. It's Colonel Custard. I nearly said that. What is it? It's just like He-Man.
Come on, at least let that one scene play out.
I can't. It's just, you know what I watched last night? A Space Odyssey. Have you seen it?
Well, no, I haven't. But could you just let that one scene play 1 minute?
I don't like the style of it. There's not enough frames per second, and
this was made in 1997.
Yeah, don't forget, it's got amazing detail. And I'm still
I said the manga has amazing detail. I didn't say the show does.
Yeah, bollocks.
No, not bollocks. That's just what I said. And I know you got a bit of memory problems, Chris, because you sleep 20 seconds a night. But come on, people can recall that. What I meant was when I apologized to you, I said bollocks because I didn't want to apologize to you, and I was confirming that you were correct. So, be nice to me.
Are you muted, Chris?
Yep. All right, here we go.
Someone might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people, if you're interested in that, it's out there. Barkley recommends it. I haven't seen enough of it to judge. I have, obviously, but I'm just trying to pretend to be
I recommend watching these shows in Japanese because it makes up for the some of the cringy writing in there, to be honest.
It's shit. It's for children. Jambo drops a Friday £10 for Danger. Hoita. Long time, mate. I haven't effed off. I still tune in, just not doing much on the YouTube chat side. I should be more active here, to be fair. Anyway, I still love yous. You don't have to be more active. You do what you want, Jambo. You know, get out of it what you want. I mean, maybe you could go and watch some Berserk 1997.
Hey, it's fucking good. It's good if you watch it for like more than 10 seconds. I don't think maybe it would appeal to you, but there's other people in the chat who clearly like it. It's really popular among nationalists.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what,
if you had to survey nationalists who watch anime, that'd be their
very
favorite.
popular as well. So maybe you should start checking out some of his music, because popularity equals quality.
No, popularity doesn't equal quality, but that in particular, that's one of the few times where I'll say it's not an overrated show. It's probably one of the most highly rated, rinsed animes. It had a massive resurgence, but it deserves it. It is really good. At least it promotes morals of
Barkley. Who by?
The Jews. No, not by the Jews, by everyone. Anyone who watches anime will say Berserk is like incredibly up there.
So the people who enjoy it have said it's good.
People who enjoy anime in general say it's good.
Right.
It does appeal to people outside of it. It's nice,
Yeah,
it's violent,
well,
it's grotty, it's set in medieval Europe. It's got a few demons here and there. It's graphic,
Listen,
people
I
die.
promise you, Barkley. I promise you, I'll give it 50. Not now, obviously, but I will give it from there. Like, because when I play it, you know, when I go back there, it'll start from there. I'll give it 15. But not later, because I'm writing an essay on Space Odyssey and the monolith. You should now. You see, here's the thing. I haven't got a lot of time. I'm very busy. And when I've seen the Space Odyssey before, obviously, but when I watched it last night, I just thought, this is so fucking good that everything about it is just mind blowing. And maybe that's an age thing, but I'm trying to think if I've ever, apart from like South Park, but even then I'm like 10 minutes in, it's like, oh, they just let things off. I'm just not really into cartoons, I suppose.
So, South Park's, it used to be quite good. I think it's had a bit of a resurgence in quality. The shows these shows I watch now is Wonder Shows and that's pretty sure show because Wonder Shows in Cowboy Bebop. Wonder Shows it was on MTV like in the early 2000s. It's quite edgy, sort of kind of political, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know if anyone's seen Wonder Shows, but it's quite good. So
hello, Plot Loser. Sorry, Barkley. Hello, Plot Loser. Plot Loser makes a point. It's heavily based on European motifs. That's interesting. Okay.
Anime is, it's heavily inspired by European culture, especially Berserk in particular. It's set in medieval Europe.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of shit is. Isn't The Witcher set in medieval Europe?
The Witcher games are very good for what I've heard.
Like Barkley, I think Lord of the Rings is jank, man.
By what?
Lord of the Rings.
No, watched it.
No one knows.
I watched it with my dad, so that shows how far back that was. So yeah, I've not really seen much of it since, but people rate it highly.
Look at blogs. I have the massive book. My bro gave it to me. Previously, picked up the slim books, and I started reading them on the bog. Started spending too long on the crapper. Numb legs equals time to go.
See, that's how good Berserk was. He was getting numb legs from sitting on the shit.
Yeah, you need to find out a little bit more about Billy than before you make comments like that. Pizzle says, I agree, JP, but I just mean a style, not the message. JP loathes Family Guy, but I know what you mean. You love it.
Chris, Family Guy's shit. It's horrific.
Oh, yeah, Apocalypto. Shogun was the best television ever made, in my opinion. The new one.
It was pretty good, yeah. I enjoyed it.
Fucking amazing.
Chris, remember that bloke who was asking you a question earlier about a script or book?
Yeah, that's who I'm looking for.
Right, David John, scroll up. He says, basically, I was asking if you have an idea for a story. Would you recommend scripts or narrative?
Oh, what? No, that's still confusing me. Let me see if I can find it.
He's now saying big time, which is of course a reference to a hit song.
If I basically, I was asking if you have an idea for a story, would you recommend? I don't know what the distinction between a script or a narrative is.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
I mean, for me, a script is a screenplay. I used to write screenplays for Miramax, and they cunted me off quite a few times, allegedly, of course. Is that what you mean? I still not. I want to answer your question, but for me, it's novels all the time because I get to write the story. Whereas with a screenplay, you just you make a spine for a director to make a story. You know, you put the location, the dialogue, and that's it. And they don't want action. You put a little bit in, but they start getting shit with you. That's my job to do that. Just tell me what they say. But if you, David, John, if you want to, I'd like to talk to you about that because I've probably got some input. Email me, chris@chrisdangerfield.com. And when you've got more words to explain it than you have in a YouTube chat, I'll see if I can contribute to your question in a bit of a better way than I have. I think Shogun 2024 is the best television ever made. And I really mean that. I think it had everything for me that the new way we consume television needs. It has all that stuff I talk about you needing to join the dots. It doesn't tell you everything. You have to work it out, which means investing your own memories and experiences into it. And therefore, it affects you more profoundly. It looks beautiful. And, you know, the way YouTube responded to it, I've never seen anything like it. After the first episode, there was like 900. Well, let's go back to anime. There was like 9,090. What is it? Over 9,000 channels talking about it. Now, I thought Shogun was something else. I really, you know, I don't want to praise the culture industry, but occasionally occasionally there's a glitch in the culture industry matrix. And I honestly thought Shogun was almost like a bit of hope. If you can make that kind of content, well, studios might start thinking, well, we can, you know, Shogun worked, and compare it to The Last Samurai, where if you haven't seen The Last Samurai, well, what's his name? Tom
Cruise.
Yeah, but he casts himself. I think he's the exec producer. I think he is. He casts himself as The Last Samurai. His rewriting of history is the classic Japanese tradition of the samurai. There's only one left at the end, and it's an American bloke who's 4'2". I was like, you're joking. You're fucking joking. He was The Last Samurai. Amazing. Richard Chamberlain, yeah, we've had all this Spanish chicken. Funny enough, me and Packer talked about it. I'm not talking about Shogun in the 80s. I mean, that was watchable, but that was the 80s. But I just thought Shogun was wonderful. Right, Barclay, do you want to?
Have you checked out his music, that bloke, at all?
Eh?
The bloke who played Blackmore. What was his name? Blackthorn. Have you checked out his music?
What, Richard Chamberlain's got
No, not Richard Chamberlain, you muppet.
Cosmo
Jarvis, whatever his name is. Eh?
Cosmo Jarvis has got a band or something, has he?
No, he had. He used to, yeah.
Is it? Am I going to get a copyright?
I don't know. But you check him out though. He's all right.
Well, the weird thing about him is he's a legitimately strange bloke. But the performance in Shogun is just it's mind blowing. And the bird, they all are. It's just mind blowing. The casting was. Let's find Cosmo Jarvis.
Yeah,
music.
that girl that was in it, I couldn't look at her for longer than
Mariko.
Hey?
Mariko. That's the woman's name in Shogun.
Oh, right, yeah.
Translator. Did you see the way they look like they're gliding when they're walking because they do those tiny little steps? Have you seen the whole of Shogun, Packer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we talked about it. No spoilers, but when the Mariko moment happens, I reckon the old planet just went, what the fuck? Oh, it was incredible. Okay. He's written a song here called Shit, You Are the One. in all the interviews they've done to promote Shogun, he couldn't do it. He was so like nervous and just sort of that's when I thought, hang on, I like this fella. Hang on, here we go. This is a bit of Cosmo Jarvis. Shit, You Are the One, it's called. And we'll have a little bit of this. I've never heard this. Packer's just suggested it.
I'm not sure I've heard this one.
This ain't goodbye. I don't know why, but I ain't leaving. No, I ain't leaving. And my respect was showing them. Please don't stop believing. Never thought I'd say this in a song. Nothing you could do, I could see wrong. I missed the day when she was done. Now I know. Now I know. Shit, you are the one.
Yeah, I quite like it. I think he's got my guitar there. I think that's a Fender Parlor. Yeah,
it's a pretty good song. It looks a bit like what's it? Something Berthield, the guy who plays the Punisher. Looks a bit like him.
John Bethnal.
John Bethnal, yeah, that's the one.
He does from that fisheye lens thing there a bit. He doesn't actually look like him.
Just on
Barclay, have you seen Shogun, Barclay?
No, I can give it a check. How long is it roughly?
I think it's
8 episodes. Is it?
I thought it was 10, but maybe.
Oh, yeah, it's 8 or 10 episodes, and they're about an hour or 45 minutes.
But they're all out now. You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Don't download them for free on Pirate Bay though. That would be terrible.
No, definitely not use Streamio and the torrent plugin for that. Yeah, I was going to say that there's actually been a bit of a cultural outrage recently in regards to some media made to sort of like, I don't know what to call it, Imperial era Japan. No, what we call the samurai era Japan? Medieval. I don't want to say medieval Japan. Sounds stupid, but you get what I mean. Recently, a huge company known as Ubisoft, they've made the Assassin's Creed franchise. You're not just give it a second because you'll get why I'm bringing it up. They've made an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan, and do you want to guess the race of one of the main characters who's supposed to be this big leading samurai? Do you want to guess which story from Japan they've picked on this incredibly woke company? Do you want to guess?
No, I think we all know.
It's the Black Samurai. Who basically did fuck all. And yeah, people are kicking off about it. And the other character's like a strong, independent woman samurai. Feel free to pop a trailer on because it's actually quite funny. It's only going to be a minute and a half.
I'll do that.
That would.
What's really good about Shogun is the women characters in it. They're not Mary Sue's. They're strong. They're strong females. They work to their feminine strengths to get jobs done. And this isn't a spoiler, but it kind of might be. When as it gets towards the end, you realise that it's the women that have been pulling most of the strings. And
the main one is Translator. Her whole story is amazing.
Yeah,
the story of her life and how she ended up where she is.
Well, when they actually wrote Woman to be like woman, it's not that horrific. Like, I recently watched. This is something that wouldn't appeal to most people, but I watched the Fallout
slow
series.
down a little bit, son. Slow down. No, apologise.
I recently watched the Fallout series, which it's a rare case of a video game adaptation show that wasn't completely crap. And the woman in there, the main character, she's not a Mary Sue. She gets the absolute shit kicked out of her so many times. She gets stabbed. She gets always killed by like junkies and stuff like that.
Oi,
great.
Sorry to interrupt. Plot Loser said he was real. So there was a real character according to Plot Loser. He says he was not a samurai though. And then directly under that, Spanish Chicken says, "How could there be blacks in Japan? They were building Britain at that."
Well, they're all over there, like the Vikings as well. So we're here, there, everywhere, up and down, left and right, as within, so without. But I believe the actual story of Black Samurai was he was in Japan for about a year. He was trained. He was in like one fight that he lost, but in this Ubisoft game, but making out that he's like some fucking like crazy world builder. Like, yeah, people are not happy. Did you have a dislike ratio on it? Was it Assassin's Creed Mirage? Let's is this the right one?
See you later, Bart.
Oh, I'm off?
Yeah.
All right, well, see you then. But yeah, no, dislike bombs completely. Might be looking at the wrong game.
It's a bit, we've done anime, now we're gaming, and
Well, no, it was just relevant because it's this is how like they've taken a piss out of Japanese culture. I've got a case where, because it's not a European culture, but people are actually like kicking off about it. It's incredibly disrespectful. Oh yeah, sorry, it's 283,000 likes to 712,000 dislikes, which is pretty bad for probably tens, hundreds, millions spent on that game.
All right, hang on. Go on. Tell me what to pop into
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I've obviously heard of Assassin's Creed, the game. So Plot Loser reckons this black fella was a real historical figure. Official world premiere trailer. You can't actually show these on streams, which is weird for an advert. Why?
You can sort of skim, just sort of like click skim through it. Just like go like 5 seconds at a time. You'll see what's going on.
No, I'll just risk it for like 20 seconds.
Skip to about 2 minutes in.
All right then. You sure 2 minutes? There seems to be a lot of action going on at the beginning.
Yeah, 2 minutes in, because that's when you get the reveal of the alpha male.
Oh, okay.
You'll get to play as, I'm sure.
Right, all right. There you go. Right, here we go, people. This is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Is it called Shadows because of the darkness?
Yeah, there's a lot of darkness going on.
What's that?
You can't see him in the shadows. That's why he makes such a good assassin. It's a joke, by the way.
It's because there's a special guest appearance by Hank Marvin.
Wait, what's Dave Chappelle when he used to do "I'm Rick James, bitch," and then he calls Freddie Mercury's brother Darkness. He goes, he was like black. I used to wind him up and say, "Hey, Darkness." You don't know what I'm talking about, do you, Packer? Barkley.
Don't know.
The original series, people in the chat, if you know what I'm talking about, give me a 1. The Chappelle Show, Rick James was one of the funniest. Just so good. You knew then that Chappelle was going to be one of the world's biggest comics. It was so good. Anyway, here we go. Right, a bit of this.
As well, if it wasn't for this character being there, it wouldn't have been disliked so much, not even nearly.
River.
The dreads.
There's another path beyond what we see.
And we must look for it together.
We must look for it.
He did have a touch of that. I did.
Yeah.
We must learn to trust.
Oh, come on. They would all
So
be...
corny.
they would all those Japanese people would be looking at him going,
"Oh, Nanda, oh."
I mean,
San Goku na tenchi na yo ni show him money nare.
Yeah, that's my channel. That's got to go. Thanks for coming on, Barkley. Right, I'll put the link in the chat. I can't remember who else was coming on.
Jimmy was itching to come on. He's home now.
There's about 3 people. I think next is really funny names, bloke.
Yeah, if he's still here.
So I'm going to give it to funny names if he's still here. Oh man, it's 4:45 in the morning. I'm going to have to shoot. It's over. Right.
Oh.
Ignore that. No one else is coming in. I've got to do some. I want to make a cake and I've got to finish this bit of writing. So that will be the end of the stream. So I know that was a bit sudden, people, but I just looked at the time. Good Lord. I'm going to be up until 7 now, at least, if I'm going to get this finished. Packer, what did you make of today's show?
Interesting, wasn't it? Went there as usual, but it was interesting.
That's it. Sorry, David. What did I say? Yeah, but that was it. Rick James was part of it, wasn't it? Rick James slagged off Charlie Murphy. And Charlie Murphy was meant to be Eddie Murphy's brother. But I think the actor was actually Eddie Murphy's brother. It was so funny, man. It was so funny. Angel Luther YouTube says, Dange, mate, you've done yourself a mischief. Oh, I've had a life of it. It's a terrible thing, but, you know, you roll with the blows. Eleanor, I will have Jimmy on, just not now. It's like nearly 5 a.m., you know. And the problem is I will stay up writing, but then that means I write off my Saturday because I won't get out of bed till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the missus will come over demanding. And if I haven't got the
oh no,
you know, it's a terrible job. Someone's got to do it. Anglo has been very generous. Anglo, do you want cold hard steel? Let me know. I'm sorry for the people who didn't get on, but it was loads of people wanted to get on. Oh, good call, Bill. People, can you like this stream? Because it's lovely that you're all active in the chat, but when no one likes it, at the end of the stream, it's like 2 likes. So YouTube don't spread it about. That's it. He did do one about Prince. It was so funny. Did you see the one, David, when he went? He says Rick James come around his house and was just putting mud all over his sofa. He goes, I knew we should have never given those N-words money. And he's black. Oh, it's so funny. Chappelle Show was amazing. Will I make any more Dragon's Den videos? Yes. The problem with Mirth Baron is I have to appeal every time. And I win the appeals, but when you make a video, you want it to go live. And the problem is you go live, everyone gets notified, it gets pulled, then I appeal, and then they say, oh, yeah, you can have it on YouTube, but then no one gets notified. And so it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. But I loved them. I weirdly got a load of new subscribers, which is like the first time in 5 years. And they're quite good fun to make, but it's just a lot of hassle because it actually becomes illegal. I'm actually having a legal engagement with Sony Pictures, and that's a little bit, you know, don't want that hanging over my head, really, because there's something else, and then there's an appeal. But if you do an appeal, it can go live, and it gets all fucking complicated. But yes, I will. I certainly will. I think I pissed off my Dragon's Den dealer because he sent me one. I made the video. I forgot to have my microphone on, and I didn't realise that he'd also done loads of research, telling me what happened after. And he'd obviously put a lot of effort into it, and he hasn't sent me any since. And he was very good at finding them. Nice one, JP. That's much appreciated. Right, I will put that on. The chat has been marvellous tonight. The guests have been marvellous as well. You all right there, Packer?
Yeah, sorry.
You don't need to apologise, mate.
Well, I am.
Quite nice that you done this stream's Simon Webb moment and not me.
Hello again.
Many of my viewers have
Got to get
recently.
the camera the right angle, obviously.
But I've got to say, it is a measure of the quality of his content that all that other stuff that would just make you not watch a channel, he's still, his channel's, you know, it's a very successful channel. So I think, you know, but fuck me, man, just edit. Just edit it. Just cut that out. But, you know, who knows? He's doing something right. He's doing a lot more right than I am. But I like to cater for the edges of society. Right, here we go. That should be it. I think I've got that right. Packer, I'll let you go, mate. Thank you very much. As usual, look after yourself. Have a cracking weekend. I'll probably stream tomorrow. It's always a privilege. I'll ping you over the link if you want to come on. Come on. If not, you don't have to, obviously.
Righto. Cheers. Thank you. See you later, Scrubs.
Yeah, put a P in the chat for Packer, people. Ta-da, mate. Ta-da. I also want to thank all the guests. I can't remember who they were. Especially thank Barkley, because in fairness, he does put up with a lot of shit and he knows it's coming before he comes on. And I'm not sure many people his age would be able to put up with that. And so respect to Barkley. He's a good lad. And I'm only that brutal with him because I actually give a shit about him. Sorry for the people that didn't get on. Anglo's dropped another one. He said, top stream, maybe consider posting how Dangerfield cooks a ribeye. You need a griddle pan, heathen. Yeah, I'll get the shit ripped out of me by the likes of you, though. I done 2 cooking shows once. The first one got a lot of views because I think people thought it was a joke. And then I done another one and they thought, no, he's just now making cooking videos. Got about 7 views how to make popcorn. I do actually need a griddle pan. You're right. I see a geezer the other day. He stuck a fork in his steak, like really like down. I think it was a Wagyu or whatever they call it. He sort of brrr. Then he cut it into strips and he chucked it in a wok, chucked some green beans in, chucked some kind of soy and something else in it and some honey. It looked fucking lovely, I have to say. But I don't do any of that. I just cook the steak and eat it, just a lump of steak. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you, Anglo, and thank you, Packer. That's very kind. So thanks to Packer, thanks to all the guests, thanks to everyone who donated. You wouldn't believe the difference that's making in my life at the moment. And thanks to everyone who got busy in the chat, comes to these streams, joins in, because without that, there's no streams, and it's a real, it's a privilege to me. So bless you all. This is I dedicate this to my man Anglo. It's Bally G and it's Cold Hard Steel. There'll be a little bit of silence at the beginning because there's there's silence before there's music. Ta-ta. I'll put your messages on the screen as we go. Here we are. Let me see if I can get rid of my little head. Yes. Ta-da, people.
Tell your daddy you're fighting good. glory he said you would. Tell your mama you're coming home. Over all of that deafening drone. But you realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Feel the dawn of your final day. Feel the fear and go anyway. Get a ride in that big black plane. Kill your conscience along your brain. But you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Do whatever they tell you to. Tell yourself it ain't really you. But when the slaughtering has begun, you'll be murdering someone's son. And you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Yes, you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Hey. Wow.
I'll tell you what, I was talking to old Mumford. He's in a little bit of bother at the moment, but it's sort of funny bother as you would imagine with Mumford. I can't go into the details because we'll both get arrested. Listen, thank you all. It means so much to me. I love this place. I can't believe it's still going after everything that's happened. The people that have come and gone. Do you remember those people that come on? And I tell you who I miss Moslab. I know he's got a lot going on. He had some very bad news. He's got a big family. He bought a load of land and that was a big project for him. And I mean really bad news, like the worst news you can get. I won't go into it. I don't think that's fair now if you weren't here at the time. I sent him a few emails to see how he is, but I can understand why he's got other things to do. But people come, people go. Sarah died, bless her. That was a fucking shock. And yeah, they're still here. Yeah, that's him, Dax. You know, like it was just a really good bloke. Those I can't remember what they were called. Can people remember what? Yeah, Waffle. He comes and goes. Who was that bloke? And he reckoned it. Lartus has been a member for 41 months. Fucking hell, nice one, Lartus. Much appreciated. Yeah. He writes to me occasionally though. Oh gosh, what's his name? His YouTube name. Oh, he's an American Indian, but he's all over the English. He loves them. Silence is Lead, and that's another one. Foot golf, Richard, my mate Richard, he died as well, didn't he? Fucking hell. I suppose the longer you have a community going, the more you're going to get all this sort of stuff. Bless Richard, man. That was so out of the blue. But these few, that's it. That's the one, John. And I'll tell you what, they donated so much money. That's it. Good call. Good call. English loyalist. That's him. Really nice bloke. David, it's Chris at chrisdangerfield.com. Easy. No, Albert still turns up occasionally. There was that artist bloke. I always forget his name, but after I had a break from streaming because I was working all the time. And when I wrote to him, he said, listen, he said, your break saved my life. He said, I was spending so much time watching your streams, I weren't getting any writing done. But, you know, people come and go. But that crazy family who, like, I think someone abused his daughter and then the uncle went to prison for it and all this. And he donated and all that. But then he started getting really shitty and saying, I've spent my money. I can say what I fucking want. When's it my turn? And Moslab, he wrote to me and he said, listen, he said, I know you've got to earn a few quid and you put a lot of time and effort into it. He said, I'll match their donations if you just get rid of them because they're ruining it for you. And what a lovely thing to suggest. I think I took it up with him for a while, but then I closed my Patreon down because I didn't want to support Patreon. But, you know, that's something Moslab done behind the scenes for everyone here. That's it. Weirdos Unite. That's what he was called. Weirdos Unite. Started off all nice, but started getting a bit, you know, I appreciate donations, but you don't suddenly start using it as leverage. That's not a donation. That's a purchase. And yeah, but behind the scenes, and Moslab told me not to say anything to people, but he said, I know you get revenue off them, but they're fucking cunts. So I was like, they really are. They really are. Last reckons Pizzle died from wanking. Right, I've really got to go. It's now 5 o'clock. Shit. Laters, people. Look after yourselves. Hoit.